The Tape Never Lies Network. Starts now.
The Tape Never Lies Network.
Yeah, you look at the tape. So as a coach, your resume is the tape.
Loses the football. Strip sack and
Bears our live.
Give me some
Bears our live. We go on live right after Bears games with your boys draft talks and the smartest man alive.
Yo.
Bears our live.
Son of a bitch, you better block.
Bears our live. We go on live right after Bears games with your boys draft talk and the smartest man alive. Ran up with a true analysis. You expect raw passion for the show. Bear fans get nothing less. Locked in with real emotion and passion for every play. Coach Phil to bring that range within with facts like shade. Post game show like nothing else you're gonna hear. Some can try to copy, but a bucket's not sincere. Delivering the truth on what just happened to be clear. That's why we're on TV, so you can see it, not just hear. Hey, yo, with Draft Dr. Phil, you know it's always hit sticks. True to fundamentals, never gimmicks and tricks. Guess we're moving Soldier Field up to Arlington Heights. Mill out counting bucks while the mayor big fight. As our life keeps growing, Shane's all knowing. Delivering the truth on how the QB's growing. Dimes on time, just lacking fundamental. Whatever the case, we get hot like Senso. Fiery discussion on what happened in the game. This ain't your daddy's postgame, so expect the fucking flame. Not for the average fan, how long they can survive.
But don't you worry.
Bears Hour Live.
Bears our life. Bears our life. We go on.
Let him sit his ass there again. I don't think we're that much worse.
The myth, the red legend, Dr. Phil Ototion.
This is
football, baby. Culture is the problem. Let's get it on. Little things.
Bears our life. Bears our
Son of a bitch, you better block.
our life.
That's what happens. That's when we have a real
Right
business.
after Bears
And let's get it
with
on.
your boys draft talk and the smartest.
Give me some fucking names.
This is Bears Hour Live.
Hey, Bullets. How are you? Cairo time, baby. Imagine wanting that guy cut. People probably feel real dumb. Oh, let's start it off the right way. Suck my dick, Green Bay, and everybody affiliated with them. Don't care how it happened. We won. Love it. Yeah, my fucking rant.
Yes, bro. Let's go. Let's go. About
Should have been a running back there. There should have been something, or was the tight end wrong in that?
boom. Boom, bye-bye, and about the boy Ed. There you go. All the haters. Let me get to this rant. On a day where you do everything in your power to lose, and Shane and I were talking with our patrons at halftime, you know, the most educated football Chicago Bear fans on the motherfucking planet, those people, well, at least we're giving them the goods to be educated. Unlike the Shea Snorlings of the world, this young quarterback is surrounded by a coach that got fired, an OC fired, running backs coach lost, the worst offensive line coach in football, the worst offensive line in football, and Bear fans are trying to run him out of town because he paints his fucking nails. Yes, that's the reality. On a day where you go in, we talked about, go out there and win. I don't give a shit about the draft position and all of that stuff. And they'll rewrite the course of history, but losing is a fucking disease. And when you're trying to rebuild a culture and get a head coach in here and build an atmosphere of integrity in football, the leather ball, there's a lot of cusses, there's a lot of spit, there's a lot of drama, there's a lot of mud and tears. I got fans crying because we beat Green Bay. Good on them. You got some assholes downplaying and poo-pooing this, I'm sure. Oh, you got your Super Bowl. You know what we got? The end of the year losing stench off. You wiped it off your ass. Just remember, grab the soap and hot water and wash those hands because of the norovirus and all of the bullshit that the George McCaskey crew has put on you. Ryan Poles is not the answer. What he has now apparently is his final shot to make something be the most important thing in the history of the Chicago Bears. Because I'll tell you right now, we got a quarterback. And fuck Green Bay. Fuck all the haters and all the nerds. And how does PFF stats on the offensive line match up to what you're watching out there? Larry Borum is like a doorman and in New York. Yes, Mr. McCaskey, go ahead in. Yes, Mr. Johnson, walk yourself right in, bloke. Bloke. We don't fucking sell out for friends. We hold everybody accountable. The analysis by paralysis is the tape. And watching Caleb last week in this pathetic showcase showing you the tape, he's the one competing. And guess who the fuck brings you down the field despite all the fucking stupid play call? Let's do a reverse double pass. Let's do that. Let's not run the ball down their throats when we got them on the heels. Let's have Gerald Everett, not a fullback, go out there and be the most selfish fuck you have ever seen grabbing a guy. Put you back. We could feel it. Shane called it. We all feel. Let's throw another lob up in the air, Jalen. 1, 2, 3, Cancun. We saw it walking out there. Meanwhile, your quarterback's running for his life. You got pathetic fans talking about flops. You know the flop? You the flop. Get behind this guy, you fucking pathetic pricks. You're pathetic, EJ. Pathetic. Maron. I've never seen a fan base go against the one player that is going to pull you out of the shitstorm. The defense did exactly what the script says in the NFL. The Bears will fumble the game away, and the defense will look like a bunch of schmucks missing tackles and balls that are just lobbed in the air, and it'll be a joke. Guess who rose above all of it? Caleb did. Justin couldn't do this. And all of your arguments end with your percentages and this passing. Are those percentages in passing incorporating Shea Snorling? Not Shea Snorling. Larry Borum at left tackle. Whoever at left guard. The center looks like a fucking cream puff out there. You're in the wilderness making s'mores with that motherfucker. Your right guard sucks. And the only offensive lineman that can play in the NFL is your right tackle. And Caleb's doing it. And Thomas Brown, let's throw another bubble screen. It's pathetic. But Caleb overcame it. Get behind him. Get behind him. Feel the energy of winning. I just pray that the coach that comes in here isn't because he goes to church on Sundays and doesn't swear. That's what we have to pray for. We got a lot of excitement now. You beat Green Bay. You fucking did it. You did it. Green Bay can go fuck themselves. Goodbye. Cry a little tear. And then your quarterback is the impetus of why it happened. You don't think he's a dog? I don't know what to fucking tell you. Go cheer for the Pack. You pussies. Shane, that's my rant. Fuck yeah. Yes. I'm fucking fired up. My kids are jumping around. Everybody in that, everything that could possibly go wrong. The same old Bears.
I don't care how.
Right,
dude. I don't care how it fucking happened, Phil. I don't give a shit if Malik Willis was in there because we know how the Bears are. Will Bears enough to lose the game? Right. Let them talk their shit all they want. Are the Bears flawed? Fuck yeah, they are. They're extremely flawed. We know that.
I just went down the list for you.
Top to fucking bottom. But again, like we have been saying the entire fucking time, if you think the quarterback is the issue, then you're just ignorant. You just are. Where's everybody with their PFF stats on the offensive line? How the offensive line is middle of the pack or better? Where are you today? Where are you?
Fucking hiding.
Caleb Williams could be 2-0 against the Packers if it wasn't for a blocked field goal. When was the last time any Bears quarterback could say that?
That's why he's the fucking smartest man. He ain't a fucking Giants fan. He ain't secretly cheering for the Steelers, who, by the way, their starting quarterback is Russell Wilson. Their backup quarterback and backup plan has nothing to do with Justin Fields. You Fields fanatic boys that continue to bring it up, let it go, bro. Let it go. You know the song? Disney made it so popular. Let him go. You're just an atrocious showcase of shitty analysis. All of them. All these micropods. Even the local media. Tearing down Caleb Williams got me so... Ivan, Ryan Cox, Jack, Shane sometimes, sending me this pathetic showcase of these guys tearing down Caleb. Look at the fucking stats compared to Jaden Daniels. One has a coach and an offensive coordinator that is NFL caliber. The other, despite it, has coach fired and this history of morons hiring them. And you have a GM hiring guys. Shane, what did you say? He signs and drafts players that remind him of himself.
Well, yeah, that was the way that I think that has been his philosophy on the offensive line. And you can bring Ian Cunningham in on that also, Phil. They're both, UDFAs that had their shot. And I think that that's who they believe in. But again, you let Larry Borum out there who has zero future here in Chicago.
Zero.
None. You drafted a kid in the third round. So it means one of two things. You are either completely inept as a general manager and as a coaching staff, or Karama Amagaji is fucking horrible. It's one of those two things.
I love you fans. I love you fans that can understand our mindset, our focus. I talked to a fan that has followed us since the beginning.
Shannon, and neither is Larry Borum.
Exactly. You put the guy that you drafted. I don't even want to pause there, Shannon. I'll answer Shannon. I love Shannon. I think it's the same.
I'm just saying. Yeah.
I think it's the same Shannon as I think it might be a different Shannon. You go out there with the pathetic team that you have and you beat a playoff team, a team you haven't beaten in 11 tries. Caleb did it. Shane made the point about he should have beat him the first time if it wasn't for an illegal block. They almost did the same thing again. Look at the Bears blocking there. McManus's kick. Not one of them goes inside near the long snapper. Watch the replay, Bullets. How the Packers once again go right inside and attack the long snapper. I honestly don't have words for it. Green Bay can get away with it. We can't. No other team can. But I'll say this. Speaking to a longtime fan, he's like, you guys, everybody poaches from TTNL that wants to sound smart. Everybody does it. Everybody fights TTNL or pushes a narrative, and I'm paraphrasing, because they want to be TTNL. They want to fight you. They have no ground to stand on because you guys are just sitting there standing and holding every person accountable. Your goal isn't to be right. It's to fix and focus on the Bears, the truth for the fan. Make a smarter, more educated Bears fan. That is the mission statement here. That's why people like Bullets and Sean Stewart and Ethan Kotz, and I see all Leroy Green, my guy Mike Williams. All of these guys stay with us to the very bitter end, and we'll do it until, God forbid, I pass on from this planet. Because the goal here, I can't play like Joe Pa or Jay Pa. All of a sudden, I'm a Miami Dolphins fan. Fuck the McCaskies in this. I can't do that. My father or whatever's in my gene, my mom, my gene pool, I can't turn away from loyalty. I
Phil,
can't.
You forgot Sean Hall.
Sean Hall, you too. I can't turn away from loyalty. The Bears are the jersey is what I cheer for. What Virginia McCaskey has done is a disgrace. That's why I say on her birthday, fuck Virginia McCaskey. She's created this fucking mess with her kids.
She's sending a telegram right now to Ryan Poles to extend Thomas Brown.
A telegram.
Because she's old, Phil.
We're going to champion this
carrier pigeon.
Smoke signals.
Carrier pigeon. Oh my God. It's pathetic watching George McCaskey walk around the bleachers at Lambeau Field pregame that Shane shared before the show. It gives me fucking douche vibes. Like I get quivers. I feel like I'm going to vomit. But I can't change them. So what I said in Challenge fans, Bears fans alike, not Greg Braggs, it was this network, me, Shane. Stop with the Green Bay sucks. They've beat your ass. It was go through the fucking stadium, go to the tunnel, and send it by telegram. Sell the team. Sell the team. Because you want these nerd asshole nepotism of showcased in the NFL. It's nice and sweet to say, oh, it's a mom and pop run thing. They're a family owned thing. They've done nothing but fuck over the fans for 40 something years. So I'm sorry, excuse me, as I mature or immaturely say.
Breaking news. The Tape Never Lies Network. Breaking news.
This just into the TTNL news desk. Caleb Williams, USC quarterback, cannot play in cold weather. Back to Phil.
As Ivan would say, suck a dick, Green Bay. I want to say this. As I lost my train of thought, I was in a rant, but the McCaskies are the problem. So you have to remove them. They've done the hiring of an outside firm 5 times. I've checked 5 times. They failed every time at coach. Even Lovie Smith. You want to rewrite the story. Lovie could have been here still had he kept Ron Rivera and understood that your antiquated cover 2 philosophy of sitting in zones and having the greatest middle linebacker of all time inside covering your ass, it ain't going to happen like that always. So you got to have the aggressiveness. The Bears have lacked it. They've hired the softest of the soft at the most important position this side of quarterback, and that's head coach. It's more important than the GM. It's more important than the owner. It's more important than the quarterback. You have a responsibility for that quarterback. All of these fake fraud fans like Kyle Brandt that'll jump on the fucking bandwagon, all of them. You can list them off. They never are going to suffer down in the doldrums with you, me, Ivan, and the TTNL crew. They're not. They're going to take their high road. They're going to talk shit out the side of their mouth like EJ and his fucking posse of nomads. And they're all going to do the same thing. Rip apart Caleb, blame the quarterback for this mess when the mess starts up top and it goes downhill. I guess they're keeping Ryan Poles. I don't know. And Jay Glazer not breaking any news other than Minnesota Vikings could possibly trade their head coach who's about to go into the biggest team.
And that would never happen here.
You think that would ever?
They would never trade. It would be, they would say, 4 first-round picks or whatever. But yeah, that's if Minnesota's dumb enough to do that.
Eric, what up, kid?
If Minnesota is dumb enough to do that, then hey, I'm all for it. But they will never trade him here.
It's not even going to happen. Can you imagine you trade your fucking offensive coach? You're probably arguably the best coach in the North. Never. But that's what we're interviewing Mike Vrabel next week. That's all I know. We're interviewing Mike Vrabel
and Thomas Brown.
Going to get an interview.
Breaking news. The tape never lies. Network breaking news.
This just in to the TTNL news desk, Phil. The Chicago Bears have won a Sunday road game for the first time.
Oh, wow.
Let's just say forever. Something that Matt Eberflus never did.
I agree.
Crazy.
I also agree with Guy, finally.
Yeah,
Guy's been on a slow streak.
I think he's referring to Patrick Hanley putting a fumble on Caleb Williams.
Blaming Caleb Williams for the fumble.
Should have never thrown it.
You are pathetic, Pat. Pathetic for doing it. Holster your tweeter, as my boy Shane would say. Breaking news, Shane. The Titans,
number 1 pick,
own the first overall pick.
The New England Patriots and Joe Milton played their way right out of that one.
Joe Milton played today. I saw it pop on my screen. Oh my God. Thomas Town. PFF sucks. That curly-haired former pitcher talking about football. I would love to have him on the show so I can blow holes right into any kind of theory, because that's what it is, a theory. I can have Cars come on here and argue any point we want him to make an argument with numbers. I guarantee, I trust my boy Cars could do it. Even if we were to make an argument that Caleb sucks with some stat numbers, and he could possibly do it. I'm saying 99% chance he'll be able to do it. Would he want to do it? No, but he could do it, because that's what numbers are and statistics. They could be used as little fucking daggers of stupidity when used the wrong way. What you can't do is use the tape, because if some asshole from England is showing tape and he wants to have a fucking field day of show, well, this is cover 3, and his translation doesn't match up with reality, it'll be ripped apart. So you have to put the real truth on tape, blokes. You have to. You can't hide, because it's your career on the job. So when fans go, hey, TJ, whatever his name is, TJ, what's his name?
Who are we talking about?
JT, sorry. JT O'Sullivan.
Oh, sorry.
JT O'Sullivan said the exact same thing as you did. JT O'Sullivan said, then I'm guessing, and I haven't watched JT's breakdowns at all this season, then I guess JT is doing it right too, because he's standing by the integrity of what the tape says. Not like Chase Daniels or Danny Orlovsky, or you want to know why Deion Sanders, that your boy Lewis Riddick doesn't have a fucking job? Because he's been caught in too many fucking lies.
Hey, real quick, Phil, this is an update from Cars. So the Green Bay Packers have finished the division, the NFC North, this season with a 1-5 record within the division. Their sole win coming on a blocked field goal that there should have been a penalty on.
It's amazing. duck dangerously. I said the fucking same thing. I was like, oh my. Can you show the replay of the false start? Like, who the fuck false started? Where was the illegal motion? Illegal shift was that real?
They said that, well, DJ, it was one of those stop and goes. It wasn't a complete 1 second set. It was he was in motion, came up to the line, was even with the line, but his body motion was going forward still. There wasn't a set, stop every motion, all the complete motion and then go forward. He just continued his process forward. That's why they threw the flag. Yeah,
I gotta see it. Come back? Was it close in your eye?
Yeah, but DJ should have another split second or a millisecond stop, just a quick stop. He still would have had the yards. He still would have had the completion.
Well, I gotta see this. I mean, the Bears did everything in their power to help lose the game, Shane, and Caleb Williams overcame it. I mean, can we be honest? You have pathetic ass-tards that are saying Caleb flopped on that fucking horse collar. Like,
yeah.
If he did flop,
even if he did,
thank God he did, you fucking moron. You're a fucking troll-ass bitch for even saying that.
There are people complaining about this?
Yes.
Oh,
Ryan
my God.
Cox just sent me
terrible.
He sent me a screenshot of some asshole. I'm not even gonna put his name. You'll be the asshole that knows I'm talking about you. I'm not even gonna give you a shout out for your dumb shit. There are national guys that are calling a flop out. It's fucking pathetic. Pathetic. You got a quarterback, Swifty, Swanky, and every fucking other SW out there except SWV now are going to have to fucking get on board because you can't debate the truth right there in front of you. I'll fucking send Sean Stewart, 6'8" ass, and Big Steve to your fucking house, drag you out, put you on the fucking street corner for the dump truck to pick you up. That's how pathetic of a fan you are. Get out of here. How do you build the fucking lineup? Watch what happens. Have an ounce of mediocre offensive line play. Imagine Gerald Everett.
Right. That was a holding call. He didn't need to fucking do it.
My son plays quarterback here for me, right? He's like, and that's why you keep Blazing game, because he's an act. He understands. You didn't have to grab the guy. He sealed himself off. I'm on a roll today, DG. I am on a roll today. I'm taking down everybody. This is the best way that.
Imagine not having a team undefeated in 2025. What must that feel? It must feel fucking horrible. Fuck, not us, man.
How's that 7 seed feel?
Right.
Damn.
God damn. Can you imagine those poor fucking sheep? Those poor sheep and fucking farm animals are gonna get so fucked tonight up in Lambeau. I feel so bad for them. Animal cruelty. It's fucking terrible. That's so bad.
I don't calm down. I will always be the same.
I knew that was gonna get Vargas.
That was funny.
How does 20 touchdowns, this 6 interceptions?
Not good enough, Phil. Should be.
How did that play with the nerd boy, blog boy frauds out there? How does that number play for you? You're pathetic. You're a joke. Shay Snorling, Pat the designer, take up another job. Somebody gifted you a mic. You should gift it back. Take a fucking seat, bro. Seriously, you don't know fucking football. Talk basketball. That you got me on. But you do not know. If you're this defense that the Bears have is pathetic. Pathetic. They did everything in their power to help lose that game. Imagine when you get a competent, aggressive guy in here. Don't give me this shit. I'm seeing God. I'm worried about. Oh my God! I'll stop being a Bears fan if Flores comes here. Well, Flores is going to come in here and clean up the fucking locker room. Going to be an aggressive defensive play caller, and he's going to make sure that the quarterback is right. I guarantee that. So don't start putting that kind of shit out there. It's just pathetic. Pathetic. You don't need an offense. You don't need Ben Johnson's X's and O's. You need a fucking guy in here that's going to come in here. John Gruden, Vrabel, Flores. You need a fucking guy that is going to build this culture. It's not the popular thing. And if you say, well, the McCaskies will never do it, then you know that's the right guy. That's your prerequisite to right. Whatever they won't do, they have to step the fuck back because you're a fan and let the big boys make the call. And if Ryan Poles is too much of a fucking fraud boy to do it, he's got to go too, because you can't ruin what the best rookie quarterback in the NFL is, and that is Caleb. I don't care what the record number. I could just see any other rookie, their number of interceptions. Shane, you put it up there. Troy Aikman, 20-something picks. Peyton Manning, 20-something picks. I even put up Andrew Luck. How many picks? 18 to...
Phil, if we would have polled TTNL fans before the season started and said, just obviously we wanted more wins. We get that. But if we had just based it on stats and said, Caleb's going to finish 20 touchdowns, 6 picks, a smidge over 3,500 passing yards, nobody would have been fucking pissed. Nobody. We know why you're pissed. We know why.
And you know what? So something that I want to point out, I know Bo's
Justin is so cute in that Steeler uniform.
Yeah, no.
So adorable.
Something I wanted to point out is that Caleb threw and it was a garbage time. I think it was a bullshit pick. He just threw it up at the end of the game last week. But he was able to go ahead and bounce back and not throw another pick today. So he doesn't compound mistakes. He limits mistakes. Exactly. And that's what kept you in the ball game today. It really did, because the mistakes of Green Bay cost them greatly. And the lack of focus on the punt return, I know it's a trick play, but still, like the way that Caleb went ahead, and I know he's not completely polished right now, but he's better than anything we've seen out there. And oh my God, is that who I think?
Wait.
Oh my God, do we even have the drop?
Breaking news. The tape never lies. Network breaking news.
Hi. I guess I'm back.
Where's the Angelo fathead in the background? Come on.
Thank God. Thank God, no.
Cars.
I called you out. Good job showing up. I'm so proud to have you here. We beat Green Bay, Cars. Shane, you had a question. I'm sorry.
No, I was just going to say, can you imagine what it must feel like for fans that don't have an undefeated team in 2025? I mean, come on, man.
I mean, hey, listen, us and Green Bay share something in common. We're both 1-5 against the division. Yes. So, it's a great way to be. But God, could it be any more Bears to end in that way? Like, it would have made so much sense if after that stupid 2-point conversion for us to lose on a field goal.
Could you believe, start there, when he lines up for 2, I immediately went to Facebook. I go, this is
I just dropped.
What are you fucking doing?
Phone. I dropped my phone on the floor, and I'm like, you got to be. What the fuck are you doing?
Oh my fucking God! I couldn't believe it.
I mean,
Cars.
there was still 11 minutes left in the game.
Yes, it was like 10:52 or something like that. Yeah, it was fucking pathetic. That's why I was like, goodbye, Thomas. Goodbye, Thomas Brown was the double reverse pass.
Oh, my God.
What are we doing here? We just got a first down with Caleb throwing from an odd angle, Cars, to Rashawn Johnson to get you the first down. You're at their 42, I think, 41.
Hey, listen, Anytime you can run Santa's sleigh, double okey doke up the tailpipe with a banana ZY slant or whatever the hell you want to call that thing, you just got to take that opportunity. It was, Phil, it was the most Varsity Blues like moment where you're like, all you needed was one of our offensive linemen 30 yards downfield pretending like he's lost, and that would have been everything.
Hold on, we got the coach. Well said, Cars.
Let me turn on the sound.
Turn it up, Shane.
So, like last night in the team meeting.
Yes, take us back. We talked about the double reverse.
Emphasize to the group was obviously mentality for the day, right? But I talked about one of the greatest enemies of success is ease, or the desire for things to be easy. And so, embracing the difficult moments.
Yeah, we know what that's all about. There ain't nothing easy with this team.
Called The Road Less Traveled.
Oh.
And so, proud of those guys for the way that they battled and obviously overcoming obstacles. Got very difficult towards the end. Obviously had the turnover. Defense made a great stop, forced a field goal, then ended with the 2-minute drive in a critical moment. I also talked about, doubt. It's one of the biggest enemies of success. And so want to continue to express how much I believed in
Thomas read the big book on sayings before this game, I feel like.
Yes. Take your moment, Thomas. Go ahead. Take your victory lap.
Find your why. Find your why. Grow the ball. Let's just take everything that we've heard from Tressman, Nagy, everybody.
Progression.
Yeah, progression.
Collaborate.
Collaborate,
Thomas.
Sounds more competent though. You know what I mean? Like out of all those guys, when he delivers his bullshit, it's just more competent to me.
Right, to be able to get a win was a
huge deal.
Thank you, Jan.
Also,
ended the game. He was clearly in over his head as HC and OC. He just couldn't do both.
You can't do both. He wasn't put in a fair place. He's probably a good OC. I can't even give him a bad OC with the shit he called today, because he can't put in his personality into his playbook. He has to use the Shane Shitty Waldron one.
Yeah, once he said he can't really audible, and it's still the full field reads. It was just like, okay, this is how it's going to be.
To come on the field, great job our field goal team.
And let me tell you, as a coach, that's probably the worst place. That's like a guy who's a singer or rapper having to do somebody else's tracks.
Yeah.
If they don't, if they have integrity.
Yeah, so big kudos to him. So the design of the play was an out of bounds play.
Did you just say big Plutos to him?
We had the exact same play called
Plutos.
They called timeout.
But congratulations to him. First win as a head coach.
Yeah.
Breaking an 11-game losing streak.
So I told him, hey, they press DJ again, give him a go ball.
Trying to put up every fucking person's comment. The comments are overwhelming. There's 1,100 of you live here. We're going to get to every super chat. Throw in a super chat. Get your super chat in there. We're going to get them all in. If you have a question or response, fuck Green Bay. Fuck Green Bay is worth $12.
About as close as you can get. But I think it's an understanding of the boys.
All it took was them losing Love and Watson, and then we could finally win. I mean,
What was your thought process on the 2-point conversion sequence where you guys lined up?
Yeah, I lost my head there a little bit, Jason. I don't know what the fuck I was thinking.
Don't go for it.
Yeah, so one, it was obviously felt good about the 2-point play we had up.
What the reverse pass? There's going to be a Dunza.
About bit of momentum. So just made a change after we ended up not.
Don't you want to sell it with the guy that got some scoots so they think you might run it in?
But what necessitated?
Should have been with DJ Moore.
Right.
If you were running that.
Not the slowest dude on the field.
He already threw a pick.
Well, I've said all along, I think when it comes to creating change, conflict is necessary. And so it's been good dialogues between us. So it's not like we've been fighting every single day. But I think understanding what it takes for him to be successful, to be at his best, was always my goal. And so to issue challenges, to always do a really good job coaching, critiquing. And I think the understanding for him.
OJ, we'll see you next weekend when you're out of the playoffs.
Right.
Thanks for coming.
Tell mommy we said hi.
But the
Tell the horses in the
him as a leader
in the barn we said hello.
The way he carries
Imagine being a Packers fan and coming to BHL for your post game. I mean, think about the logistics of that.
Imagine if you were named OJ at this point.
Back and forth? Was
it must have quit. It must have quit on
he
your
was born in
team, right?
95. His parents must love him.
That's more just my communication. I might ask a question here and there.
Yeah, OJ. We're gonna talk shit. Have a great New Year.
First of all, it's 5-12. If you want to insult us, get it right. Second off, one of those 5 happens to be against you, and you have the same division record as we do. So maybe shut your mouth a little bit.
Both of us involved throws. So.
Oh, it's hilarious.
You think guess Mike better that can throw than him? He's thrown touchdown passes before.
This is what I want to come at. Patrick Manley.
That play.
How about put the blame on the coach for ever even calling an RPO?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's the problem, Pat. You taking he made the right read through to the one-on-one, and he fumbled the fucking ball.
DJ, and he shows the decoy.
Stop, bro.
Pass to Keenan. So didn't work out, but I called again.
Was he looking to throw on
There's
the
the
2-point
updated draft order.
There it is. Bears pick 10.
To that point, you guys went deep in your bag offensively.
So who do you think it's going to be? Cam Ward, I think, or Shadur? I don't think Shadur.
I want to take Cam.
I just want to draft the biggest, fattest slob available, so I hope it's OJ's mom at number 10.
Even toward the end of the last game against Seattle.
Man, we're getting salty today.
He was talking about the first pick.
We had a couple opportunities.
So is Shane.
He's going to take Cam Ward.
I think so too. I don't think people.
I think Ward is better than Sanders.
I don't think people are going to want to deal with the Hollywood around it.
You see the guy who imitates Deion Sanders?
Yeah,
So
sent that to me.
guy is great. I would love to get him on this
I'll be
show.
honest with you. Again, I'm excited about the opportunity.
I mean, what you gotta understand,
My
Shane?
goal was not to have a win as an interim head coach. My goal is to maximize every opportunity I have, to be a great leader in every.
Dan Orlovsky for offensive coordinator.
I think the true test of a leader is to elevate those around you. So it's about the guys in that locker room, the coach and the staff, and so I mean, I got a game ball. I will end up putting it up somewhere in my house, and one of my main.
You want to know the
kids at some
biggest
point, so that always
thing we
something I
haven't
remember.
talked about that was
There's always been more
massive
about
today
this team, the coaches around
is
this
that
organization,
QB1 goes into
trying
the
to maximize
off
the opportunity
season
I'm given.
a little banged up,
Season
but
like
not
for you.
injured.
I mean, you start out.
That's huge for us.
You go back to the offseason, they
Finished
bypass
what?
you
20
for the job that you're
touchdowns and
interviewing
6
for, but then
interceptions.
They hire you on as
3,500
passing
passing
game
yards.
coordinator, and you just
That's a
jump in
that's
in
a
pinch.
success.
in that role, and then jump in a pinch in this role.
So I think, obviously guys' plan is always better than my plan, right? So even after some things that transpired last year, go from basically playing
I'm so behind on
nickel and being a pass
all
game
of this.
coordinator to, in a matter of weeks, having an opportunity to take over as the OC.
My boy Diamond Scott.
So
What
I
up?
think the understanding for people of one of just the difficulty and also what's required to perform both of those jobs at a high level.
We're gonna get into the coach with cars after
again,
this
I'll
coach
back down
speaks.
from
I
John
can't
Lewis,
wait.
opportunity to
Car's
roll,
hear
favorite,
what cars
favorite
have to
subject.
talk.
be at some capacity down the
What'd you
road.
say?
Your
If it's not here,
favorite
to be
subject,
somewhere else.
cars.
So it's always an opportunity to sharpen yourself. Like I said,
Get ready.
thinking about the guys in the locker room.
Prepare. I'm giving a tease.
Earned a place in this organization.
Have I earned the place?
Yeah.
There's no way Sean Stewart is 6'4".
I think
I don't believe it. Let me get the measure.
Even more so than
He was
the result.
He's
tall
gotta be
man.
taller. How
but
tall are
what's
you,
transpired
Cars,
is
again? 6'4", right?
how
Yes.
communicating team meetings,
Yeah, he's
how-
taller than you, I
you.
think, isn't he, Cars?
the impact on the players.
Yes, I looked at the two of them in the parking lot. I was like, Jesus, Stewart.
Well,
is
hold
huge.
on. If that doesn't work for you and Sandlin, I don't know that we can use that for me. All right, so let's be clear there.
Cars coming in hot.
Killer instinct. So he's really probably better in those moments.
That was so well crafted.
There's a
That was
gap
like
between
Caleb threading that
the
one through
understanding
to
of,
DJ Moore.
one, how to create off schedule, but also being able to
How long
understand
before we
find
get the
voids
club
in the
dub
defense,
videos?
playing with tempo.
Oh, 15
it
minutes.
And I think
Yeah.
there's something to be said when it comes to critical moments.
Today, I don't really have a problem with celebrating. You know what I'm saying?
Because
Because your last game, you haven't won in how many weeks? 11.
Obviously, the first
And
Green
you
Bay
hadn't
game,
beat them in
in
6 years, almost 6
6
years.
years.
Yeah.
6 fucking years. You're damn right, OJ. We're gonna fucking talk shit.
Minnesota into the
You
game,
little bitch. Come on.
throwing a dagger to put us in
Outta
field goal
here.
range to send it to overtime. Even going back to
Oh yeah, Richard, you want to
Detroit
bet?
into the game, we
Well,
started
anyway-
on with the -2.
I wouldn't
We
even
drive
go
all the way down.
I love you.
And have a shot to get
I love
I think it's multiple opportunities.
Hey,
that
we
he
gotta have
used,
fun. We gotta have fun.
I'm
that he
so
thought
far
was gonna
behind
be
in
a
these
franchise
comments.
quarterback. A lot of room for growth and improvement for sure, but he thrives in those moments.
When did Coach Hightower come to you?
Last one.
Opportunity to have a touchdown.
Oh, they'll let him go all
What was the
fucking
process
day
of
today.
putting that in?
Last one.
Yes, I would say it's been putting it in all week. We kind of
All
talked.
right, guys, I'm
more
gonna switch to my computer. I'll be right back.
Go ahead,
It was a short conversation.
We'll be
I
back
saw, obviously in practice,
with
saw
his
get
thoughts
reps.
on the coach.
And I told him, you got the green light whenever. So you'll have to come check with me on the sideline. I trust him. He's done a phenomenal job. And they continue to find ways to get our special teams playing at a high level every single week. And
I'm trying to put all of your
What's your desire to keep
comments
coaching
up.
Caleb based on the relationship you guys have this year?
Virginia
Even if
might
that
be in the
meant
middle of Club
a
Dub.
new coach coming in and maybe you taking an assistant role
in the
coordinator,
wheelchair.
quarterbacks coach, whatever, to be
Throwing
able to
her
continue
up.
working with Caleb.
That would be
my
the
goal is to
best.
go maximize and kill every opportunity I'm given, whether it's here or somewhere else. Of
We
course,
forgot continuity.
But I told him,
Well done,
before even just in the
Monzo.
locker room a minute ago, I'm
Soprano.
supposed to, even if I'm not here. So I want him to
Continuity.
be the best he can be. A lot of
We
stuff that I
love
talked
you,
about
Jan.
before
Thank
this
you
one
for
is
your
not dependent
kind
on me.
words.
It's about me being able to put him in a position to be able to have growth.
We're gonna get to
understand
all of your comments in the super
and the
chat,
best
all
piece of
28 of them.
game winner, Cairo, the man.
Yeah.
There he is. Look,
Listen to that,
personality. of it.
Bullets.
Listen to him, Bullets. Don't.
Thomas Brown just
Is he
took a
working
shot
on?
Thomas Brown just took a shot at Bullets.
He
like that.
did.
See that?
His car's ready to come back in.
He was switching over his
His thumbs up.
Yep.
There you go.
There he is.
All right. I just didn't want to put you in if you were grabbing some statistics.
He was
or
putting
anything
his
like
pants on. It was weird. I'm glad we did not have him on live.
I was grabbing something to say the least.
that. Our great producer, Sucka Dick Green Bay, is in the house as well. We can't hear you, Ivan, but you are here. I could tell you that. We can't hear you.
Good.
Can you hear him, Shane?
No.
Did you hear him?
No.
Get that mic fixed. I want to hear some Ivan. I know
I'm
there's
Bo's
fans
down
out-
below the desk pulling cables.
Nope.
Nope.
Nope. Fucking Big Steve pulled the plug on your voice. Caleb is legit. Cars, just speak on Caleb. Me and you haven't gotten to talk. Obviously, I'm going on a lot of rants, including today, a little victory lap, and I think a deserved one. He pulls out a victory despite the same old antics of the Chicago Bears, be it play calling, turnover, defensive letdowns, just shenanigans that seem to transpire. But I think it says a lot that he's able to overcome and get you in the field goal position after all of that. And they do it finally. And I think it's a step, obviously, towards the end of the season in helping you secure a coach. What are your thoughts on Caleb?
I mean, you couldn't have someone overcome a worse situation, right? Like it just time and time again, even early in this game, like the first snap to the really short play calls to what was it? It felt like 4 consecutive third down screens to Roschon Johnson is play calls to get things moving. You look at it and you go, with everything that transpired and all the issues that we had inside the offensive line, to finish off with one of the second longest streak in NFL history without an interception, to throw 20 and 6.
I'm not sure why Caleb is not
Sorry.
at the podium.
Through all of what we've
Hold
been
on
through
those
is
thoughts.
can't ask for a better ending.
Take us through that last drive after the fumble recovery by the Packers for a field
Caleb
goal.
trying to blend in
you
with the
got,
workers back there.
A lot at your hands.
As he
out of
leaves the
timeouts,
stadium.
throw over the middle, but take
Probably
us
the
through that
wrong
whole
color
drive.
jacket to choose for today, buddy.
Someone will have
Gave
a
it to
problem
him,
with that, Shane.
on that fumble, and
Just shows that he's not a leader.
I'll take the blame for that. Should have just handed it off, let the clock run out, or let them use their timeouts, and then from there, we'll see. But Yeah, the last drive,
Caleb
been
Williams,
able to make
undefeated
plays,
at Lambeau Field.
big time moments, and
Caleb
that
Williams,
doesn't mean that you got to do anything out of the
undefeated
ordinary. Just go do
at
what you do
Lambeau
and,
Field.
be able to go out there and have that moment with these guys. Like I said, couldn't ask for a better moment.
And so now it's done for 2024. If you can reflect on it, and
How about
I wonder
the
why
beat
he's
writer
not-
blaming Caleb
ask
for
of you because you
I
went
wonder
through
why
it.
he's not in the
How would you
post-game
put it all
presser.
into context and focus?
Yeah, I'll say
Weird.
This year was challenging. And that's,
they were celebrating so long. Green
awesome.
Bay wanted them out.
Yeah, but it's it's required
being able
in
to
the
go through
NFL.
it, being able to have a
They
positive
wanted them out of
mindset,
the press room.
whether I'm in front of media, in front of teammates, or
Maybe
at home, being able to have a
there is
positive
going to be a
mindset about
pressure.
it each day.
I don't know. Maybe I'm
understanding
wrong,
that I
but
get to do this.
because
No, I just got a text from somebody in the beat
something I love.
saying
something
they're
that I
the Packers said they got to get out.
Oh no shit!
They were celebrating so long in the
Kevin Warren there in the background.
And so
That's
like
walking over to that chair,
shit.
checking out that
it's a
chair,
pleasure
like
being able
see
to
what
be
it's going
here
to
with
be
these
like in
guys,
our
being able
non-existent
to
stadium.
have these moments, being able to go through all the ups and downs and be able to come out.
Who was that player that just dropped his phone but caught it? Sign him.
And have a positive mindset about this year.
That's
being able to
TSA,
grow
by
from
the
this
way,
year,
behind
understanding
them,
obviously things
checking
that
their
go our way.
bags, and
Appreciate
then
all
they
the
put them
time.
on the
Congratulations on one done. Many more. Best is yet to come. Caleb Williams.
Will he get to the presser? I can't tell you which.
If that's what they did, if Green Bay
what
literally
they
said
did.
you're celebrated too much, that is just a classless kind of BS move. Like, you know how important this is. You've had your quarterback in the past say he owns us. Like, it's a big deal. It's a division win, and for you to be like, you celebrated too much, get out. That's pretty classless.
Totally agree. Totally agree.
Bad.
And it's quite honestly, if that's what happened, then Green Bay should be fined because
They
that's
should.
it's a requirement by the NFL that the quarterback.
You don't think Caleb wants to step to the podium after beating Green Bay?
Yeah, exactly.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's all class when you're winning, but when you lose,
Yeah.
Oh,
you know what I
yeah.
mean?
You know, and that's it. It's what we all teach our kids, right? Who you are is when the cards are down, right? The way you behave then is
These
is
motherfuckers are
everything
going to make
there.
me root for Philly next week now. Jesus.
You gotta root for Philly. Fuck Green. I never even understood any person that's a Bears fan rooting for the NFC North. Like, I could see that you have
Oh,
some
no, I would
twinkle in your
never.
heart.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying
Yeah, I'm
like fans that I'm rooting for the Lions to win the Super Bowl. Why? No. You want them to start strutting their shit on your head? You already got Don Burr in every fucking chat. Imagine what it'll be like. Like, come
Not
on.
here. Not here.
Yeah, we blocked his ass.
Him and Chris Foster jerking each other off. Being
I
pissed
mean,
off.
Chris Foster or many of his other aliases that he fucking hides
Yeah.
under.
Oh no, he uses the same. He's using up every Chris Foster on YouTube.
Oh, geez. Well, there's other people that are either copying, pasting his exact words, or
Oh
it's
yeah.
him.
Oh,
That's what he does. He
it's all his
copies
buddies that
the same fucking post. He's a
that
pathetic
take
moron.
pictures of black helicopters and think that the Earth is flat and all of that stuff. You know, they're cool.
Well, back to cars. You're talking about Caleb Williams. Obviously, I put out like asking guy. I put Caleb's numbers next to Jaden Daniels, who you're stroking off. And then if you were a real analyst on ESPN, you'd say, well, look at these numbers in this environment of disaster in Chicago, and then look at what a competent organization does. And when you see those numbers, it's even more impressive than the winning numbers on this side because it has to do with combating every possible thing to move forward. Your thoughts on that?
You know, and you kind of look at it is, listen, this is going to come across harsher than I intend to on Jaden, because Jaden had a very solid year, but they took away half the field half the time, right? They moved the pocket on him. They simplified a lot of things. And when you look at that second half, you know, and who they beat, yeah, they had some decent wins, but I mean, you beat Philly, you beat Philly once, you beat, you look at their wins. You're talking about the Giants, the Bengals, the Cardinals, the Browns, Carolina. us, the Giants again, Tennessee, New Orleans, Philly, Atlanta. Like none of those are wins where you sit down and you go, man, that was big. That was massive. And you go, doesn't take away from the impressiveness of what he is and what he can be. And I think you also have to look at, everybody was saying how CJ Stroud was such a home run, surefire thing. And then you look at the step back that these guys take year 2. We often talk about
Bobby
RG3.
Slowick might get fired. We're talking about in Houston.
They wanted him so
do you
bad.
guys want some numbers here on Caleb Williams to finish the year? This is from Joey Sangwich on Twitter.
Sandwich.
Caleb Williams finishes his rookie year as the first Chicago Bears quarterback to throw for 3,500 yards since 2015. First Bears quarterback to start the entire season since 2009. 7th Bears QB to throw for 20 touchdowns since the year 2000. The first Chicago Bears quarterback since 1965 to throw 20 touchdowns with less than 10 picks. 5th most passing yards in a single season in Chicago Bears history.
Did it all with what Dennis Moody is showing, with no run game to speak of. There's no identity, no O-line. Anybody saying PFF numbers of their O-line, I mean, you shouldn't even talk football if
What
you
did he
bring
sacked 68 or 69 times this season?
68, I believe, right? Yeah, it's either
He was
68 or
67
69.
into the game, and he only got sacked once.
Oh, he is at the podium. He has come
yeah.
to the podium. Oops, sorry.
Adder, and I'll turn on the sound.
There you go.
What was it? 10, 11, some crazy number. That, you know,
they had a change of heart.
To put Cairo in that same situation that we put him in. You know, last game, him being able to relive that moment and not just relive it, but you know, obviously, you know, put it through the uprights. And so
I'm going to address
being able to have that moment was great. Being able to have the first win of 2025.
Yeah. We
been
are
able to
third string
have the first
backups
win since 2015.
Oh, so I was right.
Being able to have
You were right.
versus Green Bay and 10 games. And so it's, you know, first of a lot.
Corey Wooten
really
starting out the backup
you know,
talk.
this offseason, being able to grow for
Word
myself.
is Caleb has
you know,
a
the
Penn
moves
State
and people that
t-shirt
will
on
get to be
underneath
able
that
to grow
jacket.
and
Well,
make
you know,
a
he's wrong.
monumental jump for next year.
He's
and be
my
able
quarterback,
to,
but he's wrong. So.
you know, start next season off right.
Walk us through the throw to
Corey climbing the wrong tree.
So,
we'll just say
right
that.
in the huddle.
Should be terminated from CHGO.
We call the first play. They call a timeout.
You don't get it, big boy.
I see obviously why they called a timeout. They had DJ one-on-one with no over-the-top help, and so it's probably not the.
Who was the quarterback again that beat us?
You know, at the end of the game, and
Brett Hundley.
Brett
they called a
Hundley.
timeout and,
Corey.
You know,
Brett
tell DJ
Hundley.
in the huddle. If they pressure like
Corey
that,
on that team, that would be hysterical.
A go ball, and
then you put a
if they
picture
get,
of
you know,
Corey
outside
and
leverage,
Brett Hundley
we'll
together and fucking tag CHGO with
or,
Corey.
You know, 5-step and
Fucking
snap it
pathetic.
off and told DJ that in the huddle.
Pathetic.
You just made sure that, you know, we were on the same page, you know, so we can go and execute. And then after I told DJ that, told everybody that it's down clock. And then, you know, once DJ catches it, we'll have to run up there, clock it, and then put it through the upright. And that's what happened.
For the touchdown margin for error there with the clock, how do you get the confidence of the group collectively to get that done with little despair?
Yeah, we practice it all the time. We've throughout
The
this
most underrated
this season,
play on that last drive,
you know, times throughout the
is
season
Caleb
where we've
stepping
marched
up
down
in the
the field
pocket and getting
in
as
2
much
minutes,
as he could.
over
in
and
that.
over again, and whether we put ourselves in position,
He stepped up in the pocket. Remember how we talked for 12 weeks about the last guy stepping up in the pocket against
5 times this
against
season.
Minnesota?
Like, you know, those situations didn't go our way, whether it was the Hail Mary or, you know, a bunch of other things. You know, so being able to do it this way, being able to end the season off the right way. Like I said, being able to have the first win of 2025 versus Green Bay on a 2-minute drive. You know, couldn't ask for a better way.
32-yard touchdown play to DJ Moore on that drive.
2025 cars.
I think they were both.
We beat Green Bay.
Watch how many Chicago media badmouth the kid tomorrow.
In that position.
Yeah.
Oh, exactly.
To be honest with you,
Yurkovich.
stadium. I know Bears fans probably won't want to hear
Yeah,
that. But
it's all, you know,
I
it's one of
grew
those
up
things
Aaron Rodgers fan.
where it's all
Grew up
his
an Aaron
fault.
Rodgers.
Being able to actually be here and
what are you saying,
come out
Charles?
with the win. Being able to be here.
No,
and,
it's going to be
play on this
all
field,
his
being able to
fault,
be
right?
here
Like
and,
everyone's
see
going to be
the
like, he's
history,
the only player. And then when
between the
things turn
Bears
around and we start
Green Bay,
winning, it's going to be,
and
well, it's
come
the
out with the
team.
win.
You know, he's
The way
playing
they
great,
did.
but it's
It was
everybody
great.
else.
It was
We've
awesome.
seen this enough.
Great
Chicago.
moment, and can't wait to keep growing and keep having more of those moments.
Coach Brown said that you guys have had some pretty intense conversations in the last week.
Yep.
What has that been like, and how have you received that, and how helpful has that been?
Yeah, it's been great. The way I grew up, I always respond to challenges. The way I grew up, I always respond.
You
well
responded,
to people that tell me
bro.
the
You've
truth.
been
So
responding.
I would say that's what he did. And,
You got fans
gotta
out
keep
here.
going,
Don't
gotta
listen
keep
to
going.
these
Gotta
dumbasses.
no matter the situation.
Don't even pay
how I'm
attention
feeling,
to it.
You know, gotta
Gotta
find
love
ways
this
to,
kid's attitude.
be better. Gotta find ways to have games like this where it's tough and find ways to come out with the win at the end.
You mentioned the team needing to take a monumental jump was your word in this coming offseason. What needs to change here, and what is your role in that?
I think my role in that is being able to see where I can grow, whether it's on the field, whether it's off the field, whether it's in the locker room, or anything like that. Whether it's off the field and maybe having less people around, less distractions, less time for other things, whether that's on the field and being able to decipher, things faster on the field, whether that's, being able to be more accurate, whether that's being able to have more game-winning drives, whatever it takes, is kind of where I'm at for myself. And then for this team, just having the right people, the right people, and that's first before schemes, before the type of player, 6'5" and this and that, having the right people here, whether it's a locker room, whether it's the people upstairs, coaches, whatever the case may be, just having the right people overall in the building to be able to help grow the culture. Because I believe TB's probably said this, but culture is people, and so being able to have the right people in the building, being able to start there, and then from there you can grow. You can from there have the right people with the right scheme, and you make monumental.
Tyler Gordon was one of the biggest tackles
of the year. Yeah. Setting the tone next season.
Absolutely.
How about that kid?
Being able to watch.
He's probably the best player on
goes
defense.
on, this first year was big for me.
I honestly,
I don't
disagree. Better than
Jalen.
Jalen.
How to lead
because he
in this
does
league, how
a
to,
little bit
what's needed,
of
what's not needed,
everything. And
what
in
to
the
do,
run
what not to
game,
do,
that
things like
man
that.
is an
I think
enforcer.
next
He
year would
is
be a
fun
big jump
as
for me,
hell
and
to
I'm really
watch.
excited about it.
Oh my
Have you
God.
played him?
Taking
I
on
don't know,
blocks,
how cold was it?
diving.
10 or 12.
Why did you
Trying to punch out effort.
I couldn't imagine this defense without him and PJ Edwards this year. Without either of those two, it is
any
ugly.
type of
Yeah, and TJ had his worst game of the year today.
I would totally. I'm paying Tyler Gordon.
Oh, got to. Slick, I take off the glove. And
He's
then from
earned it.
there, it's just go play ball.
So what's the process of getting competitively reset after BJ's fumble and knowing the game is where it's at? You got to get yourself ready to get back locked in.
Yeah.
This
good thing
image
is
is
that it didn't
compliments of
happen on
Mr.
the,
Rager on
their
Twitter.
30,
Rager.
20-yard line. So they were
There
super
you go.
close. And so being able to have enough time on the clock was
The
big.
car's
Being
brisker
able to
as he
reset,
returned next
can't.
year.
the game's not over.
He's
I
done.
feel like when I'm on the field, the game's not over until the clock hits zero.
He-
So
When is
being able
he
to,
hasn't complete? It's kind of like Tevin Jenkins. I
keep
love the guy when he's on the
competitive
field.
competitiveness
A little
going.
less this year
I had
with
50,
Tevin,
58
but they're
seconds
just
on the
not
clock
on
when
the
he stepped
field
out there, or 50
enough.
seconds or something like that. After the return, 54,
I would
and then I think
imagine,
we're down
and
to
I
36
agree
after return.
that
And
he's
so,
not on the field.
being
But
able to go out there,
is his contract
make
up,
plays,
Brisker?
execute.
No, they'll
No,
use
Brisker's
him.
got one
Okay.
more.
Yeah,
So
unfortunately,
I
they'll
would-
use him up.
Not taking
Yeah,
steps,
yeah,
especially in
that's
some of those
kind of where I'm
critical
at. Like,
situations on that game-winning drive.
he'll be
Early, you get
used,
flushed out
but
to your right.
the
holding,
first
trying to
sign
find
of
the guy.
injury or
You
another
end around, end up getting
concussion,
the horse
you're
collar.
done.
Then later
And I
on, they
think
almost
that's a
got you
huge
again,
risk.
but you find just enough as you're going down to get the
I
ball
really-
in the direction of Cole to avoid the sack or the intentional grounding. Is that in your mind? Is that part of the conversations that you and Coach Brown have been having about
What
those key
the fuck is this
situations and
question,
taking
Herb?
those sacks?
Yeah, it's definitely been on my mind. Being able to understand the situation, being able to understand it's okay to throw the ball to bounds, but it's okay to when I'm getting sacked, throw it, past the line of scrimmage, obviously, and near a guy and
Jim McMahon, our last
I'm in the pocket.
guy that did
if I'm
that.
not, just throw it out of bounds, dirt it, whatever case may be. Live to fight for another down, and that's what happened today.
Caleb would have did it
I think it was
twice.
20 seconds on the clock when I threw the
In
first
this
one. If I got sacked right there, the game was over. And
I'm sorry, the
people
NFL,
understand the
that
situations
was
and
completely.
knowing how much time I have and
It should have
where
been
my
a
hots are,
flag
if I
for
have to dirt it,
roughing
things like that is
on the center.
a part of
Belongs
the
to
growth. And
wasn't called.
I got to have more of those moments.
And they pushed.
Next year and the years to
But
come.
they
So,
did two things wrong and didn't get called.
Live to fight for another down. Is that moment and that mindset that I had at the end of the game. And I think offensive line, to be honest, throughout this whole game did a hell of a job. The first sack of the game was my fault. Letting I don't know if I can curse on here. Damn ball. Is that a curse word? I don't know.
You're allowed to fucking swear.
I won't say it.
Wait till the new coach comes in.
Let the ball go through my hands.
Edit it. They'll edit it in post.
One.
They'll fix that shit later. Just say what you got to say.
Very frustrating.
DJ Moore in the locker room. What do you have to say about?
I think they did a
he's
hell of a
like,
job.
yeah, we beat the Packers.
Game.
That's
Been able
right.
to keep me
Fuck
upright
'em.
and
that's what he
the
said.
run game or
Yes.
myself. Been able to find a way to win the game at the end of the day.
Fuck George too while you're at it. Pull up the video of him.
That's the biggest
walking around. Fucking.
That's the biggest question I have now
sky's
with
the
all
limit,
of this.
and probably more than.
And
the
I have
sky.
a small.
we got to find ways to, like I said, get the right people here. And
Say that again.
From
I have
there,
a
grow
2-minute
the
rant
culture.
to go in about the
This is
coach
just a
search.
stepping stone.
Okay,
like I
yes,
said,
we still got to get to that.
The first win of.
Did you guys
of,
just hear that
2025,
little quip from Caleb right there? Talking
No.
about the offseason? He said, we got to get the right people
Caleb
here,
Williams,
and we'll
confident.
progress from there.
We got to get the right people here, and we'll progress from there.
That's a bit of a mic drop. I mean, which we all know, but for your QB1 to say that openly like that, it's still a big deal. It just shows you.
Message.
Yeah.
Message he's sending to ownership. Before you do say that, this is TTNL's message. Hopefully this came out as good as I hope it did, as Cars is going to talk about this. I don't know if we could set the tone better.
That was fucking awesome.
You got to text
Thank
me that.
you, sir.
That was
I
impressive.
will text you that right now, Shane.
That was created by none other than Angelo Joseph Marino from Wallingford, Connecticut, by the way.
Ladies, no, I know that that's fake because there was no ladies and gentlemen in there whatsoever.
There has to be a beautiful.
There's a 2.0 to that, Cars. We just haven't released it yet.
No, yeah.
We need a
I'm not
beautiful
falling
Cars. I'm texting it to you right now, Shane.
No, we're very economical, my family.
I hope that gets you fans fired up. Cars, I'm fired up. What are you talking about here in regards to the head coach?
Even when it came to Levy, look at everyone we've hired since. Mark Trestman over Bruce Arians, John Fox. You know, when he looked at Matt Nagy and who he was competing against. In this last cycle, the best coaches, we didn't interview O'Connell. We didn't look at McDaniel. We didn't even give those guys conversations. Now, McDaniel's quirky.
Cars, real quick. There is some major breaking news within the NFL. The New England Patriots have just fired head coach Gerard Mayo.
Wow.
Well, there goes There goes Mike Vrabel.
Yep.
There you go.
Unfortunately,
He's gone.
Yep.
He's gone.
Totally agree.
He's going to be in New England. So, but my thing is, we've heard all this stuff about cussing and swearing and how this is meddlesome. And when you look at how do you choose Tressman over Bruce Arians? Is Bruce Arians going to be that type of person? He absolutely was. And so time and time again, George, who says, hey, I don't meddle. I'm not in the middle. I hire football people to make those decisions, but you meddle way more than you let the average fan know about. You interfere every step along the way. And so if this comes in, and I'm sorry, maybe these guys will work out, but it feels to me, if it's not Vrabel or if it's not Ben Johnson, and to be honest, I'm not completely sold that Ben Johnson will be the guy, but I wasn't about Mike McDaniels either, and he's done a better job than I expected him to do. It feels like if it's not one of those two, it's because this team will not make the right decision, that they will kowtow to someone to coach to, 1940s television where it's black and white. We're not going to allow cussing, all of these different things. If you don't come out of this with a name, and I'm not even talking about Pete Carroll. Pete Carroll, to me, great guy, but at 72, I need someone who's going to be here long term. He's not the guy for this. If it's not Ben, if it's not Vrabel, if it feels like it's going to be a massive letdown.
I will say this: if I am New England and there is absolutely any validity to Minnesota entertaining the offer to Kevin O'Connell, I would give up my first-round draft pick all fucking day long to pair Kevin O'Connell with Drake May moving forward in what overall is considered a weaker draft.
Could that be the move, Shane? And that's why he said that today.
That's what you look into.
No, he was a former Patriot.
They drafted him.
Yeah.
And that could be on the horizon. So Vrabel might not be that guy. Wow.
Vrabel, to me, the main reason that he's there is everything you've heard about how he's an organization fixer, how he makes things take more seriously. You heard about the training room stuff where he finds you if you're late to the training room because he wants you to be healthy and ready to go on practice. This may sound remedial, but it is everything that this organization needs to finally focus on fucking football instead of everything else. Let's focus on the product in the field. I don't give a shit about the stadium. I don't give a shit about what people are doing for charity and what they're doing with their other times. All that's really great and important. But for now and for the foreseeable future, it's got to be winning football has to be the number one priority, not any of these other bullshit. So George, get out of the way. If Vrabel comes in and says, I don't want Ryan Poles, guess what? Get out. I don't care.
Yeah,
nobody is sitting here worth keeping. And if it's killing me that this is like that I have zero faith right now, and I'm sure you guys are very similar, where I have zero faith that they can identify the guy and then go get the guy because of all the questions around George, around Kevin Warren, about Ryan Poles. Like those are the three largest question marks you can have in any organization. And you're done. You're done.
Yeah, I mean, I've said it. You got to get the lead dog right. The culture setting, the arrogance needs to be there. Confidence that you know that you're going to do the right job. Ryan Cox made a great point texting me, and Shane, I read it to our patrons earlier, talking about Chris Morgan is the guy you hire when you hire a coach that has no connections to coaches in the NFL. This process continues to reek of stupidity and ignorance. It's almost to the effect that you can't even believe that they lift their noses up, that they're doing the right thing with the Accorsies and Polians, and you peons don't understand the process. And you come away with Nagy, Eberflus, Fox.
Phil, real quick, Jay Glazer has chimed in, and
go ahead.
I would take what he says,
Yeah,
I would. Yeah, he's not just putting shit out there. He just announced the firing of Gerard Mayo, and then I followed it up with name to keep in mind, Mike Vrabel.
Yeah,
Jay Glazer isn't
that's
just
a
putting.
done
Yeah.
deal.
Yep.
That's a done
Totally
deal.
agree.
And Phil, to go back to your others, like when you hire Matt Nagy, you kept Vic simply because he had nobody else. But look at his offensive coordinator decisions. The best person that they hired was the offensive line coach, and then they kicked him out as soon as they possibly fucking could because it wasn't his guy. And this is the sort of stuff that we've seen. Look at everybody that was hired outside of Eberflus. How good did that defensive coordinator Alan Williams turn out? How good did to Luke Getsy? Only 2 offensive coordinators before this morning were fired in season, and I guess Cleveland doesn't even count in season since their season was over. Both of them were the offensive coordinators that Eberflus had hired. We have done this over and over again with guys who are unqualified, who don't have connections, who are just B or that's being generous, or C-level candidates.
No, you're not. C-level is the correct. And I'm not talking about C-level in regards to Mile High versus where the Bears are in Chicago. It's C-level additions. Guys that are retreaded that nobody wants, like Chris Morgan. He lasted 2 administrations.
Eberflus was going to get fired by the Colts, and that's who we hired.
Olin Kreutz told me that he was getting fired via Chris Ballard when we hired him. There's a nugget for you. Like the pathetic softness. I mean, I always refer, I think it was you who said the McCaskies love people that go in their suits with them to church on Sundays. Yeah. It was Cars.
Yeah.
I always quote you on that because
run down everybody that they've hired under George, Phil, and that fits exactly what Cars is talking about.
And it started with Dick Duran. Why did Dick Duran get an extra 2 years? Mm-hmm. Because he went to church with Virginia every Sunday. And when we hired Dick Duran, did he ever have a single defense that finished inside of the top 20? The answer is no. Like, as a defensive coordinator, no.
Right, no. That
so you
that
just
year, that was the Nick. That was no, it wasn't. That was the year they hired Dave McGinnis.
Yeah, he was,
and they ended up turning because he left, and they hired Duran. Yeah. That's how pathetic this is. Let's just be honest. So when I hear, okay, they'll never hire Gruden. He would be a great hire, but they wouldn't do. That's what they need to do. Then you got. He's the anti-McCaskey. If there ever was an anti, that's the kind of guy. You might not like his emails that should have never been leaked. I always say this. It was a great social media post. Guy goes up, you kiss me or show me your teacher's private text group chat. And every woman kissed the guy because you know the kind of shit that they're talking in there. So anything we say in private shouldn't be known to public, but there again.
But Phil, to your point,
take a look in the mirror, people, before we criticize Gruden.
If Gruden isn't even hired, isn't even interviewed, isn't part of the process, George is going to do everything he can to distance himself from this and say, look, I didn't have anything to do. But if Gruden doesn't even come up, do you have any belief that it was Poles and Warren that had said no? Or do you know that George had said, this is a list of candidates that wouldn't go, right?
That's a home run response. That's the problem. And it stands the same thing for Jimmy Harbaugh. You had a layup. This shit would be in another stratosphere. Look at Washington. Multiply that by 5. That's where the Bears would be with a Jim Harbaugh.
But
it's not even close.
To what George says, hey, I didn't make the decision. Yeah, but you narrowed the pool before we even got there. You took out some of these candidates before it even got there. So no, you aren't making the decision, but your hand is in the decision. this is where I struggle, because it's like, if they don't hire, no offense to Anthony Weaver, but if Anthony Weaver is the head coach that you go through and hire, I don't know how I could talk about this team for another year. He may work out, but at some point you have to go above and beyond and do the right thing and go get
that
the
would
name.
be the swing of all fucking swings, Cars. I agree. I just think that they're trying to. Actually, I don't know. I shouldn't say. I shouldn't say they're trying to do something. I guess they want to have the random guy that maybe has potential, like Cars says, to say that they're turning over every stone. But I just don't see where that. And again, we're not sitting down with these guys. I understand that. And that's why I go back to Ben Johnson with this. Nobody he may be the best leader that we have. Maybe he is like a sponge and he picked up things from Dan Campbell. He picked up things from Aaron Glenn, who are clearly leaders of men. And he's had a top 5 offense for the last 3 years as the play caller. We just don't know. And anybody that doesn't have a direct connection to him or know him that says that, any fan, oh, he's not a leader. No, we don't know that. We don't know that. Just like the other side of the fence, Brian Flores. Oh, I think he's going to figure it out. We don't know that. You're guessing. You're hoping.
Well, Gerard Mayo is the perfect example of that, right?
Is.
He was the guy that had been highlighted as the logical successor and such a great, he'd done all these things. And in 1 year, he looked horribly lost. Now, he may turn this around, and I think he was dealt definitely an unfair set of cards. It is weird that they hired him knowing that Vrabel was available then, and now they're going to circle back. But that's what you have to, you're risking for Weaver, who's only been a defensive coordinator. What is it? 1 year?
Yeah. First year this year. Yeah.
This is his first year. He's been a defensive line coach and all those things. I can take Flores. I can take Ben Johnson. I can take Vrabel. But the rest of the names, Cliff, I can't do, because he's even said multiple times he likes being an OC more than an HC because he can focus on play calling.
Mm-hmm. And that right there is really all you need to know, because this
he said that, I've never heard that.
Yeah, no.
He said he told that to her.
Yeah.
If you say that, then you're off the head coach. The head coach's responsibility,
of
guys,
all fucking teams,
is to set the standard and expectation of culture. He's going to be the one who sets the tone and marries it up with how you play the game. And listen, I will tell you this over and over. Situational play calling based on how you do it is the merit badge for coaching. That's how you find the good ones versus the bad ones. This should be the prerequisite this season for the Chicago Bears because of Caleb Williams. Have you ever been a head coach on any level? High school, college, pro? That should be the first. They go all the way up to the top.
So here's the interesting thing.
Then you have the outliers. Go ahead.
Is there still a wild card in here that is a big name? Because I feel like that there is.
Well, John Gruden to me is the wild
there's zero
card.
shot of that. I feel like there's zero shot. I'm talking about a guy that we talked about before.
Hold on. The wildest wild card is who fucking Cars brought. Like, where is Weaver coming in?
Right. Well, Cars brought it up.
Are you talking about McCarthy?
No,
or are you talking
no,
about
no.
Pete Carroll?
I'm talking about the guy that you just mentioned right here, because his buyout is $4 million.
Marcus Freeman is the wild card. That
to me, that is Kevin Warren fucking massive glitzy swing that mouth breathing Bears fans are going to fucking get behind and love.
Going into the, you're
I
getting.
Why?
This is another name.
I don't
Are
think
you
it's out of the
trolling me? Are you
question.
trolling me right
No.
now, Shane?
No,
That's
This
the
is
other
trolling.
name.
I'm not. I'm
Chico
not.
is the
Shane.
other name. We're going to talk about it.
Chico, who should not touch anywhere
No.
near this franchise whatsoever. If
But
I just don't
real quick,
understand it.
Mike,
But I
the
think you're
point
right.
is, Mike, the point is, if
Stay on Marcus Freeman.
If
Yes.
Marcus Freeman in Notre Dame go out and beat Penn State and then go out and beat Texas or Ohio State and he wins the national title, what's the upside for him to stay at Notre Dame at that point? There's
Especially
none.
with the NIL and all of this
none.
recruiting shit.
There's none.
Well,
Former
do you think
Chicago
the
Bear
Bears
himself.
wouldn't pay him. You know what he's gonna got an extension at
$4
Notre
million
Dame.
buyout, unless that's the report that I have seen.
Now,
unless
what is
that's
he making per season?
$9 million.
9.
Yeah, the
9.
Bears can pay $15 million. There's no cap on a coach. I don't
They
know
could,
why.
yeah, but Bill, they could, but they won't.
No, just
They
prepare yourself
never
for
have.
this moment because in football,
And
you
whoever they're
can
going to
have it.
hire,
So,
they're going to need a 6-year contract
sometimes,
for.
you don't get that chance, but at least you prepared yourself.
I wish
mentally
Stefanski, but he's
to
coming
that
back.
moment. And when it
Cleveland has
happens,
already
it's just-
committed to him
Stefanski
coming
was
back.
in the
a little
open
bit
market.
blurred
He's
because, you
definitely
don't
in the
think about,
names.
He would be
100%.
just kind of like
he would be
leader.
1B for me under
play
Vrabel.
that play in your head, and then you just go and do it.
I have Flores
it's
over
pretty
Vrabel.
cool, and so cool.
That's how I see it.
To do that in this.
I love someone who has something to prove. And I believe Flores, from everybody I've spoken to, has something to prove. I also like it marries up against this soft ass cover two linebackers not reading in space, getting gashed.
But
You're
Phil,
going to get
before we
away
move
from
off of that, and Ivan, and I
Freeman,
honestly,
you mean?
I am not trolling you at all with this, and you can speak as a Notre Dame fan. We all know who Kevin Warren is. We know that he craves the spotlight. We know that he seeks out people that are going to do exposés on him. And hey, look at me, I washed my own fucking car and all of this. Tell me that if Notre Dame wins the national title, that is not Kevin Warren written all over it.
I believe you. No, I can believe it. And it's just like, I don't want to hear, like, I hope that that's not the case. Because right now, I think Marcus.
But are you saying that as a Notre Dame fan for Notre Dame
No,
or for the
I'm
Chicago
saying
Bears?
that as a Chicago Bears fan, looking at a college coach who I think is doing a fantastic job. Who's
We're going to get all your super chats coming up.
Who's recruited well, who's
All
gotten this
38.
defense playing really well. Is he prepared to take that jump and start coaching guys that are a little bit older? I know NIL checks are it's money, right? But it's a little bit different from NIL checks and, hey, man, this is now my profession. You know what I'm saying? Like this is
Mike,
like,
how do you know that he's not interested in the NFL? I mean, my God.
We don't know anything, Mike.
Stop. We don't know that.
I know more than Mike does about Marcus Freeman.
As an ND
I can
fan,
tell
we
you
don't-
some
we don't
stories.
know that shit. But like my point is, Marcus Freeman is good right where he is, I believe. If he develops and he wins and he continues to get his team into the playoffs, or like you said, if he wins, even if he wins this year, right? God, Lord willing, if he wins this year and he plays on, as long as he continues to keep the team relevant, keep them in the playoffs, down the road, I could see him making a jump. But right now, people like to rush these guys.
Let me ask you this.
Oh, I get it. I get it. But I'm
Marcus Freeman
You
gets
trust
blown
Kevin
out
Warren?
by Penn State. Say you get blown out by Penn State 28-3, just hypothetically.
Right.
You can't see him turning and saying, you know what, fuck this, man. I'm having an opportunity. I got the McCaskies calling up, offering me $10 million per year. I'm gonna go to the NFL. It totally could happen. What Shane is talking about totally could happen. Even
not
if they
saying it's
won
gonna
the
happen.
national,
I'm just saying
title.
it would not shock me if that
It's a
is
Coles. Excuse
Kevin
me,
It's
Warren's
totally
move.
what you're
it's a Warren
calling it.
move. It's a Warren type of move.
You and Cars, man, are having a day today. I'm having a great rant
Cars
day.
keys.
Joke
It happens.
day.
Cars keys, bro. It happens all year.
Yeah, you gotta
Yeah.
watch it.
We
Cars
talked
keys,
about this though, the
Thursday
last
nights.
one we did, which was Freeman, because it's the type of move that's flashy, but doesn't really truly move the needle.
And you're going to get your ass kissed by all the mouth-breathing Bears fans that love Notre Dame.
Not to say that Marcus couldn't do the job, because the things that
We don't know,
checks the
right?
box.
It's no different than what I just said.
Been a head coach.
About everybody else.
He has a culture. He has an understanding of the Bears locker room, and he has an understanding of motivating players.
Well, how much of an understanding does he have in the locker room, Phil? Sorry to cut
A
you
lot.
off. How much?
A lot.
I mean, he played for the team, but he wasn't
I'm
like.
not talking about the Bears locker room.
Oh, I'm sorry.
He brings his personality into the job. That's what you need for Chicago. It is a multitude of mishaps in Chicago. That locker room, you could make it the most beautiful marble fucking lockers, HD whatever, TVs everywhere. You can't pretty that up culturally the way the Bears have been hiring. You've had soft cornballs. That's who they've hired. Is there bigger cornball than Eberflus and Tressman and Nagy? They're wannabes.
Oh,
They are wannabes.
Tressman is the worst NFL head coach hire in the last decade by far.
Will go to my grave telling you, culture is the motherfucking key. You have to have that in order to become consistently a winner. You can't go in with these guys that have no identity. None. And look at the fucking pathetic Bears. They can't run the ball. Their offensive line sucks, and you're tearing down the quarterback. The local media is doing it instead of praising it and say, wait a second, look at the chaos of this shitty run organization. He rose above all this shit. And tomorrow you have to sit on your hands wondering if Shay Snorling and Pat the designer and the 670 crew are going to talk about this appropriately or feed the meatballs this bullshit.
No, they'll have the A team in.
Will they feed the meatballs this bullshit? No, you don't know. You don't.
But
I'm talking the whole day. I'm not talking about Cap and Hood.
Right.
They're the only ones that don't do that shit.
Real quick, everybody in the chat. I know Cars has to bounce. Got some.
Well, we got to demolish our kitchen tomorrow, so we got to finish emptying that out, so I don't have to sleep on the couch for a while.
I'll actually bounce when Cars bounces too.
No, you are not allowed to leave.
Okay, all right, I'm stuck.
Ivan wants to spam my phone saying, "You motherfucker!" Bringing up Marcus Freeman.
We're gonna have a talk.
Imagine what poor Bullets is doing right now.
Super chat to get into, Ivan. Come on.
You just see Bullets running his index finger down his window while he's crying. Fuck you, Cairo. I was so close. So close to having you blow it.
God, it's almost as if Bullets forgets that we had a Parkey and we had this whole fucking debate and this whole this whole 10 years of not having a kicker.
Let's create another hole.
Right. Yeah, let's do something bad.
Can somebody please clip the let's create another hole? I just want that for something.
That's the 1 hour 32.
Well,
mark.
to Chris Foster's,
Chris
Adam Foster's grandmother has 5 inputs.
Oh,
so
and with that, it's good to see you all. I'll talk to you later.
Flat screen
and USB.
Real quick, Cars, your final thought on the Bears coach.
Cars is like, fuck your final thought.
Fuck the final thought. Ivan, you can have your final thought tomorrow. Is there going to be any press conference? Are we going to get something, or is it going to be later in the week? What are they going to be doing?
We'll see what happens.
Here's a more interesting question. The presser, is it going to be Ryan Poles by himself? Is it going to be Kevin Warren by himself? Or is it going to be Kevin Warren and Ryan Poles? Because you have to look at it. If it's Kevin Warren, then Poles is gone.
Kevin Warren, Ryan Poles, and George McCaskey.
Can you imagine again?
I can see all 3 of those motherfuckers up there
doing it via Zoom.
That's why I put together that.
Oh my God!
That video.
But if they are both there, that is sending the wrong message to every potential head coach candidate. If they're both there, if it's Kevin Warren and Ryan Poles, listen, we all here would fire Ryan Poles, but if they're bringing him back, then Ryan Poles should be up at the fucking podium taking every hard question by himself, saying, I am leading this head coaching search.
100%.
This is my decision. Yes, I will talk to Kevin Warren. Yes, I will bounce things off ownership, but this is my search. This is my head coaching hire. And if the Bears do not do that, if Kevin Warren is out there with Ryan Poles, then it's the same old fucking Bears.
I agree.
You can't say it any better. I totally agree with that. Totally agree with that. It's sad. It's sad, but the only ray of sunshine that we have for Poles is that he got Caleb Williams right. That's it. I'm trying to really look at what he's done for this football team. Kyler Gordon, Caleb Williams, what else can we stand on here? He's not built the line.
I'm not done with Darnell. I'm not done with Darnell Wright by any means.
No,
again, you point to the Chris Morgan thing. I mean, him being brought back and
he signed off on that.
Force fed.
Shane Waldron,
right?
Signed off on that.
Yeah,
you said it last week, which was, I thought, standing ovation worthy. That you failed with Eberflus, and you, Ryan Poles, signed off on Waldron, which you failed there. Javon Dexter, can you applaud him for that? Is that
I think that there's upside there. Am I happy with where Javon is as a player? No, I'm not. My expectations for him at a certain point this season went way up. And yes, I don't think you can put it all on Javon. There's been chaos around him. Losing the big man, obviously, Billings hurts. But again, that can't be your focus going into 2025 that, Billings is coming back, because he's also going to be 32 years old. So he's getting a little long in the tooth, and who knows how he's going to recover from the injury, being an older guy. But Javon's also not going anywhere. But Phil, that's the point. You bring in a motivator, a guy that's going to cross all the T's and dot all the I's. And if you're fucking late for a practice, then guess what? You're going to be fucking paying the fine, and there's going to be other consequences.
100%. You can't just talk about it. You have to be about it. Like, for example, Shane and I were pointing out.
I'm glad you brought up the fucking name, Alex, because people are going to be pissed. If he's available at 10, he's 100% in fucking play.
He's a dominator inside.
And people are going to lose their fucking mind because it's not an offensive lineman. That would be your fucking tone setter inside all fucking day long. But people are going to lose their mind because he's not an offensive lineman.
If they do that, the head coach is the thing. All of that stuff, but the draft, we're going to break it down. Our guy, Chris Harold, already is stocked. I don't even think Ivan knows how many films he put in there.
Yeah, I gave him an update.
I gave him a list.
I told him that it was updated.
Oh, I got I got it up.
I got all the DNs, D tackles, tight ends. I got offensive linemen, running backs. I made a big priority on running back. You can't go into Roshan Johnson looks so soft and slow out there.
He's a nobody. He is
an absolute nobody. He's like fucking Ty Halleck out there.
We were talking about this in the pregame. This is the flaws of Ryan Poles. He likes people a lot. He likes our personality. He likes the human being. But I think that's a part of some of the mistakes that he's made choosing personnel. Remember, he's a franchise pillar, Roshan Johnson. A franchise pillar. A franchise pillar doesn't just come in, here and there and on goal line to make his impact. A franchise pillar's in there 3 downs, if not every 100%. Down. Like, that's a franchise pillar as a running back. To me, he's just Ryan Poles has this affinity for guys. He has this emotional connection to guys that he shouldn't have.
100%. I'm sorry to cut you off.
No, you're fine.
You make a great point. The emotional There's nothing wrong with having emotional, but there has to have the tenacity to be that. There is no aggressive runner here. I was proud of Swift on a couple runs, but he putting his shoulder down, but he cannot see it. He is visually blind when it comes to certain. He just has no feel there. So I don't care what you see. There's a place for him. He's just not the lead dog. You need a downhill, aggressive runner like the guy across the field with.
And
Green Bay.
there's no
Josh Jacobs.
This draft is jam fucking packed. I'm talking 15 fucking deep.
Yeah, they got
with running backs
in this draft.
Explosive running backs.
And you're going to have to get one. We can go down a list. I love them. There's a lot of running backs. Mr. Chris Harold has put them up in there for me. And I'm going to be cutting tape with Ivan. So if you're not a patron, right there below Shane, thetapeneverlies.com. All you little piss-ons that think you know football, that are talking shit about your quarterback, we got that right. Now we need to get this whole team right. Big needs: left tackle, pass rusher, 3 tech, tight end, running back, wide receiver. You still need. I don't know how you go into this game and not rotate Tyler Scott in with Keenan Allen. It should have been a priority. In fact, that when you got that turnover, it should have been a shot down the field to Tyler.
I tell you this right now, like if all things being considered, if we had another game next week at the running back position, I played Darrington Evans all fucking day long over Roshan.
100% over Roshan, 100%. Roshan, maybe maybe the concussion did him in, but you could just see the tiptoeing, the softness. He just instinctively can't get there. He's not twitchy enough. He's a glorified fullback at this point.
He's a one type of runner. He runs hard, straight, and he's a battering ram. That's it. Other than that, like he runs a risk of getting another concussion. He's not the running back you think that he's going to be, a multi-purpose back. You can have a guy. You can have a guy do multiple things and still be an aggressive runner. That's not Roshan Johnson.
100%. The kid from Iowa, the other Johnson, that kid's better than Roshan Johnson is today. Like that kid could be picked in the 4th, 5th round. Kid from Iowa. There's a lot of backs in running backs. Yep. And the Bears have to come away with that. So is Poles the right guy to do it? No, I have not seen it. I don't see the tenacity. I liked Darnell, and this isn't cherry picking. Go back and look. I liked Darnell. I wanted Darnell. I liked Kyler Gordon. I liked Brisker. I did. You
can't plan for concussions.
You can't.
I mean, has it affected Jaquan Brisker? Yes, it's going to affect his career. Sadly, has it affected Roshan Johnson? Clearly, it's affected him. That's the thing. His last 2 concussions, he's missed legitimate time, just like Brisker has. You can't invest or count on players like that. That's just the cold hard fact about the NFL. Sometimes it sucks. Injuries suck. You cannot go into 2025 with Roshan Johnson getting legitimate reps as a running back on your team. You can't.
The undrafted kid that got injured on Hard Knocks, he was better than Roshan Johnson.
Phil, he was going to make the team.
100%.
Ian Wheeler.
God.
And
Ian Wheeler, thank you.
Yeah, he's coming off an ACL. So that, again, listen, I get the upside. That's fine. You can't go into 2025 saying, "Oh, we can count on Wheeler because we like it." No,
hell no.
That's an added benefit. But that's the way that small-minded teams that don't think ahead look at shit. Like I said, Karan Amagaji, they've invested a 3rd-round pick in him. He's not on my list for 2025.
Who's
starting on the offensive line?
I don't even want to ask you that now because that needs to be its own show. Who, if me and you are the head coach, Ivan's the assistant GM, you're the GM, we go through the roster and then who stays, who goes. The new head coach, obviously, is exciting for us. Just to bring it back, because we got to get into your super chats here. You got over 35 super chats here. Get your super chats in now, Kerry Franklin. I haven't seen one Kerry Franklin.
Oh, he's trying to stop. We don't need
I just need his.
Bolster the super
We
chat.
beat fucking Green Bay.
Oh.
I need there's a reason why. I need to make it a t-shirt that I'm gonna wear this whole spring. I just wanted a Kerry Franklin. Anyway, Karana Magaji should have been playing today.
Totally
It's
agree.
no coincidence that there is no EJ today. It isn't a coincidence for Alexander, my guy.
No, well, EJ's probably praising Caleb today.
We don't know.
That's
Clutch
what
Caleb.
floppers do. I don't know.
Yes. But what we don't do is we take everybody, and we had Ninos on BHL last week. Wonder where he is. He's not here today. I'm surprised because he was standing up. Here's our first super chat. Cygnus _X1 $4.99. Thank you, Cygus. Daryl Johnston was embarrassing in his critique of Caleb today. He said most of the sacks this year on Caleb and questioned his maturity. Well, then I didn't hear that. That is completely pathetic.
I didn't hear that. I heard him talking about the sacks. I didn't hear the maturity part. But that's
Ben Devine did a great job showing how they aren't all on Caleb. In fact, he is the most sacked quarterback with them not being on him in the last 15 years of the NFL. You saw it today, Shane.
Yeah.
Free run after free run. Pathetic.
Ron D'Ambrosio, $4.99. Fuck Green Bay. Nice to see Caleb get one. He put them in position to win how many times this year? Happy for him. Totally agree.
Absolutely. He deserved it. We all deserved it. All of the TTNL
What a
fans
way to send
deserved.
out. This is our last BHL for the
last BHL
the
Shane.
year. Yeah.
And
Crazy.
if anybody's pissed about draft position, I don't give a fuck.
I could give two fucks that we dropped from 9.
TTNL was right again, Shane.
That
We said
win
it on
was
Super
worth
100.
more.
Where TTNL was wrong was by our lead dog, Phil, a couple of years ago, Ivan. We witnessed it firsthand. When Ivan and I ripped our shirts off and were partying in the streets. Phil was ripping his TV off the wall.
Right. Yeah. But no, this time around, man, this isn't. It has nothing to do with the draft. This has everything to do with overcoming something that you seem to be insurmountable. I thought they were going to come out here and get their fucking asses.
Me too. I picked 42
in
Green Bay.
And they showed up in the frigid cold up there in Green Bay because it was cold as fuck, I'm sure. And they did a job. Were they perfect? No. Is this coaching staff going to be around? Fucking no. But you saw your leader and who should be the leader of the team, Caleb Williams, do exactly what leaders do. Come back from a bad half, come back from adversity, and find a way to get your team in position to win the game. And they fucking did that today. And I love it.
You gotta love it. The Chicago Bears beating Green Bay and Lambeau. Finally, after 11 tries, they get the victory over the Green Bay Packers. Caleb Williams driving them down the field, and the Bears come out victorious. Fuck draft position.
Yeah, I could
It's
give
all about setting the tone.
I couldn't give
offseason.
any less of a shit. There was a chance that the Bears, with help, could have moved up to number 5. And if with a win, they could potentially have moved down to 10, which they did. That's fine. You're still in the fucking top 10.
As Caleb said, Shane, we kind of talked over it.
Yeah.
Right now, we're 1-0 in 2025, beating Green Bay and Lambeau.
Exactly.
I love that.
Cameron Riaz, $5. Best possible outcome. Beat the freaking Packers finally. And finally, Caleb gets a much-needed game-winning drive. All about Caleb now. Yeah. It's
Great. Thank you so much, Cameron. I love your AI, too, for your generosity, and you're 100% right there. Caleb deserved it. You fans, you TTNL fans, because half these flip-flopping Bear fans didn't deserve it.
Oh, yeah.
They'll be jumping in on the pile. There's those guys that you fucking make the tackle, Ivan. You know what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah.
And they jump on the fucking pile,
Get
wanting
the half
get their half tackle in the mud.
Tackle.
GIMD or GIMD, I don't know how I'm supposed to say it. $5. Finally, Caleb's clutch play and his ability as a baller has been rewarded and recognized. Fuck Green Bay or fuck Greg Braggs. Either one of them work. Caleb is him. Goodbye, Keenan, Everett, Borum, etc.
Everett. Oh my God. Sad. I was a fan of Everett.
Yeah. Go
Thank you,
Chicago
Everett.
Bears. $5. Any competitor, ask any true competitor, would have wanted this win where we pick in the draft. Yeah, we're right there with you.
100%. 100%. We
And
got it.
We owe Nicholas Vicens or Vicens. I'm sorry, Nick, if I'm butchering your name. We owe him an apology. He had a super chat up the other night on our Thursday night.
We apologize.
Keeping it 100, completely our fault, Nick. It was a $10 super chat. I wish I could bring it up now, but I don't have that ability. So we do owe him an apology. And as that, I have invited Nick on any future show of his choosing to be our guest for the entirety of the show. And he has accepted and will get back to me on whatever show he chooses. So Nick, thank you. $4.99 twice, baby. Second time Caleb has beaten Green Bay this year. Yeah, I mean, right there with you, man. Definitely should have been. We all know what happened. And where else do you get the analysis instantly like that? Phil said they tried doing it again, which they did. You know, loading up on the center. And listen, that's smart coaching by Green Bay. If you're going to get away with it, try to get away with it again. And well,
God knows you get away with a lot of holding calls.
Yeah. Our guy Chubbs. That's his new puppy right there.
Chubbs.
That's his new puppy right there. $2. Exactly. Fans like EJ can SMD.
What does SMD stand for?
Well, use your imagination. Maybe it shouldn't be that hard. Deeper $9.99. God, that ending was an absolute heart attack. But Caleb is the guy, ice in his veins. Felt damn good to be on the winning side and make Green Bay play Philly. Hope they lose. Fuck Greg Braggs. Bear down. Fuck Green Bay. Chubbs is back. Pray for John Gruden. I think there is about a 0% chance.
That might be. I don't know how I'll be able to compose myself.
And I'm not saying that I am
right. You're saying
wholeheartedly against. I'm just saying because of Chicago Bears ownership. And to what Adam John said, all George McCaskey needs to do is go to Google and type in John Gruden emails. And the first thing that comes up, I believe it's from, I don't know if it's from The Athletic or whoever it is, but George would see that and be like, yeah, hard pass. On that, our guy Lawrence Fleming II, $4.99.
My boy, the voice of TTNL. There he is.
Savagery. 18 is surgical with the pigskin. Man, that third down, other than the pass, that was a fucking amazing catch by DJ Moore.
Gotta give him credit for the catch, too.
Time,
yes.
Big time props. Love you, Lawrence. Thank you. R. Lacey, $4.99. Mitch was 12-4 with less talent around him. Caleb has DJ Keenan in Rome and is 5-12. So yeah, great. That makes so much sense. And
I want to talk about 12-4 because the defense led the NFL in turnovers that year with 39 takeaways. He had more short fields than fucking a 7-on-7 flag team. Stop.
One thing that I like is beating Green Bay. The next thing that I like is people typing out dumb comments and paying us for it. So thank you. Love it.
Lacey 3 topping the worst.
Contruvious Sweezy, $4.99.
There he is.
Hopefully Puscat. People kill me with the play on all these names with Eberlus and Puskaski and Poles don't utterly botch this coaching hire. Keep the shoe salesman away from our quarterback of the future. Puss Floose, be damned. Thank you, Pontruvius, Sweezy, Ethan Kotz. Happy New Year's, guys. Great end to a terrible season. Caleb is the one. Bear down, $5. And I know the
Happy New Year to you.
The thing for Green Bay fans right now that is going on Twitter is, oh, congrats to you guys. You beat a team full of backups. Well, all I have to say to that, Green Bay, is you tell us every fucking day how much we suck. We're fucking horrible. And it doesn't matter if we play your backups or not. We're still going to fucking boat race you. You guys all said that.
The goalposts, you pussies.
Yeah, guess what? You just lost to a quarterback that paints his fingernails. Shut the fuck up.
I want to get, before we go into the next super chat, that brings me to Corey Wooten. I just think that you have a job in the media to keep it real and honest and not be a fucking meatball. To give any kind of clearance or credence to the Green Bay Packers who are playing backups in certain situations. Check if I'm wrong, but your starting quarterback started the game. We're a banged up bunch on the offensive side of the football. Are you making up excuses there? We're a terrible football team that went in there, beat you when you needed to win to help your status in the playoffs, and you didn't. I don't care who lines up. This is a rivalry game, and for you to come out with your excuses shows the kind of pompous pussies that you truly are.
By the way, your
Corey,
starter,
be better.
Your
Be
starter,
better.
their starter was in there. We knocked his ass out.
We knocked him out.
Just like your crowning achievement, Corey, knocking out
Brett Favre.
Great.
Sorry,
Robert Nash, $1.99.
you,
Finally, a
Robert.
Sunday road win. Fuck Green Bay. So true.
Oh my God,
He's back.
Popped himself off with the worst. I thought you couldn't get worse. This is the worst.
Hey, keep sending super chats, Arlisy. That's all I care about. Keep sending them, buddy.
It should be illiteracy. Like,
Who knows?
what?
He
You
keeps
should've
on
read
sending
it.
them.
You should have read that one.
It was the same thing. I had it up there. Yeah, Caleb has done less with more, is what it was.
Done less
199.
with more.
Sam
Don't blame
Burns.
the O-line. Don't blame
Yeah,
the
Sam Burns, $5. Wild. We can move the ball at the end when we're not throwing horizontal. Yeah, that was what was driving me crazy. Is like, come on, let's attack the middle of the fucking field here. That's
Oh my God. Thomas Brown, I said, sealed his fate. It's
I
not the
sent
guy.
the tweet. I sent the tweet out on the fucking pass from Keenan Allen, which, oof, you're not gonna like the reaction of Keenan Allen after he threw his interception of putting his hands in the hand warmer and just walking in the middle of the play.
Somebody
While
sent me that. It was pathetic. Like, would you have a problem with that? Yeah, I have a huge problem with him putting his hand, not even giving a fuck. What are you throwing it for?
yeah, and it wasn't. I mean, it was a horrible throw.
And the
Half-assed.
beat writer blamed Caleb for it. How about that? The Bears. Caleb just threw a terrible interception.
Yeah, he threw a duck. Well, he came back and he didn't apologize, but yeah.
No apology.
So GIMD or GIMD, $10. Rank them. Well, Phil has. For Phil, he would have Flores.
I have Flores over Vrabel. I have Carroll over Vrabel. Then I have Vrabel third.
I have zero interest in Dayball as an offensive coordinator.
Dayball is staying with the
according
Giants.
to Glazer. Yeah, both him and
Can
Joe
you
Shea.
imagine that?
Yeah, and they're going to draft a quarterback.
I got to text my Giants
Sound
fan
familiar?
friend. They talk a lot of shit, these Giants friends of mine. Let me text them on the air.
Ben Johnson equals diva, according to GIMD. I don't know where I agree with that. I would be the same way that he is. I'd be very picky about where and what structure I want to go to. He says, hire Carroll now, president of football ops. In 3 years with Carroll's OC, he goes to head coach. So thank you, GIMD.
Guys, I'm going to head out.
I'm
Bo's going nuts. Love you guys.
Love you.
He's
great
not
win.
reacting well to the Marcus Freeman news either.
No, he's pissed. But he's happy the Bears won. He's happy the Bears won. He's like, what the fuck, Shane? He's looking
How's
at me
the
like,
wife
I'm not
handling
saying-
this? How's the wife handling?
Oh, her,
Nice.
her.
Send
and
her
my
the
daughter
fucking link.
Are not here. Yeah, oh, trust me. I was waiting. I think she's waiting till after BHL to show up. So
Tell her that Phil and Shane said, "Wah."
don't worry, I got it all covered. I got it. Later, guys.
Love you, bro. See ya.
All right.
Les Sigmund, $2. Let the Caleb haters hate. First Green Bay win since the biscuit.
I was at that game, Les. Me and my wife, Steph. in Soldier Field. That was the butt sack game.
Yeah.
Khalil Mack.
Lift for
pancakes.
If you know, you know. $10. Fuck the pack. I'm just happy to see a win. It's been a while. I forgot what it felt like.
Yes, thank you, Lift for pancakes.
For pancakes.
Pan.
Lawrence Chrisman, $5. Caleb can say he beat the Packers.
My
Can
God.
Justin say that? Nope. Keep quiet, Justin Fields cult. There you go.
Nice.
Moreland Thomas. I think that's, have we seen
Moreland?
before?
I
Sounds
love
like a
that
new
name.
Yeah.
Moreland Thomas.
We got
Thank
fans
you.
mad about the win. Bears beat the Fudge Packers in Fudgetown for the first time in 10 years. Shut up and enjoy the dub. Right there with you. Thank you, Marlon.
That's a possible T-shirt for me for the spring too.
Troy Stevens, $1.99. Justin
Troy.
Packers. Suck it, stands.
There you go. There you go, Troy.
Lawrence is back. Put them claws
Lawrence.
up and a middle finger to Green Bay fans, just like Jalen Johnson did.
Yes, he did. Is George going to be upset about that?
Who gives a fuck?
Do you have the pic? You could put it up.
Probably someplace. I think
'Cause I want
everybody's
to
seen
like
it.
end the show on that. We're going to run our coach's video to end.
Yeah, that's how we'll end it. That's more of a mic drop in my book. But Bears fan Jim, $5. Glad to see Caleb finish the year with a dub.
Let
on
me
the
tell
road.
you, in my house, to see these boys, they have their friend over the house who's center on the team, Shane, Max Derwin.
Yeah.
And to see the field goal go through the up.
Oh, yeah.
It was just, I don't know. Parenting is a struggle sometimes.
My son was at a girl's house.
Oh,
and even he was tuned in to the game because as soon as that went through the uprights, I got the text from old Riley boy.
What did he say in the text?
Well, two things. First off, yes, Dad, the Marsaw magic is real. Second text, fuck Green Bay.
My son Devin and Tate were just jumping. Finally, we beat the Packers. Caleb deserved it the first time. These kids are locked in, and you want to see a culture change. You got the quarterback. That's the thing. The guy pulling the strings of where you're going to go offensively is so big.
That hit was as clean as it comes.
Clean as a cucumber. Oh my God. I just think
was
it's
so
almost
hyped. Yeah.
picking it up and running it in would have been so amazing on that day.
Oh man, I just loved it. I'm just adding
Big Jervon Dexter grabbing the fucking ball on the ground, rumbling for that would be so amazing coming in there. But
Lucky he didn't break Willis's forearm there.
his
Really,
fucking hand has got to be clenched in there. That fucking hurts when you come flying. Boom. Just knocking him down there. Thank you to Fox for that clip. Marcus Montero.
Marcos, not Marcus.
Marcos.
Montero, $20. Living in Wisconsin. Sorry about that. I really needed them to win this game. Also, how many things has Caleb accomplished in his rookie year that Fields couldn't do his entire time on this team?
Marcus again.
Marcos.
Shane, put your fingers up. This could be a possible Phil and Shane t-shirt. There you go. Good job, Marcos. I'm trying to find our summer t-shirt on the beach with a fan super chat.
Steph Froylan.
Our guy.
Yep.
He's in Hawaii.
His baby getting to enjoy the Green Bay.
Oh, the baby
loss.
was thrown up at the ceiling.
$10. Yeah, undefeated in 2025. Fuck Green
Fuck
Bay.
Green
Happy
Bay.
New Year. TTNL. So
Happy New Year to you.
Are you a Happy New Year or a Happy New Year's guy? It's supposed to be Happy New Year, but there's a lot of
I
people
always
that
say
New
New
Year's.
Year.
Yeah, me too.
Happy New Year to you.
I always look at that though. A lot of people use Happy New Year's.
I think the S comes when you say Eve. Happy New Year's Eve.
Yeah, what the fuck, Steph? Jesus, I'm kidding.
He's living in Hawaii.
Bears fan Jim.
There
$5.
you go.
Caleb owns Lambeau. That's right. 1-0.
Where the fuck is our gym? I have not one text from Larison. Let's text him live on the show.
Let's do it.
Fuck is he?
Kevin Shiana, $5. Need to go all in on O-line. Caleb's health is worth liabilities at other positions. Yes. Totally agree, Kevin. Thank you for chiming in. Matt Hepler, Corey Wooten is talking crap about Caleb and playing against backups on CHGO. Does he know he's a washed up, no one cares player? Someone tell him to keep Caleb's name out of his idiot opinions. That's what it is. I mean, listen, they want clicks, they want reactions, and there's nothing that I love more than to hear former Chicago Bears football players that never won anything complain about the guys from today. It's fine.
It's pathetic.
You go back to the heyday of Lovie Smith. They made it to the Super Bowl and they didn't win.
Caleb playing with backups, Corey, with leaky pockets
and backups to backups.
Backups to backups. It's just pathetic that you come from that angle of it. I just don't know how you do it.
Easy. $4.99. Polls is not the guy. Caleb absolutely is. Fuck Green Bay. Bear the fuck down. Couldn't have said it better.
No, great.
Jam in.
Great.
$5. Ben Johnson all the way.
We be jamming. We be jamming.
Bears fan Jim is back. Maybe
Bears
Armstrong has somebody else that we can hire as head coach. Joe Brady's agent is
Joe Brady
Armstrong.
Is that kryptonite for you, Shane?
No, I think you have to treat each one as a separate case. I don't think you can base your decisions on that. I mean, listen, I went to Europe once and made a bad decision, right? What happens if I go back to Europe again, Phil? Am I going to make another dumb decision? Probably. We'll see.
Did the Eagles play?
They beat the Giants.
They did. Did they put
Tanner McKee? Tanner McKee.
They never put their running back in?
No. And they were without Hurts and their backup.
Jesus Christ.
So
I would have just ran him. I would have given him the record.
Warren will make polls, do the presser, and then he'll fire 2 hours later. Yeah, there is a blueprint for that. Great point.
What we didn't do is let him do the presser.
Bill Wagner, our
$20.
$20. It's over. Onward to Draft Mob.
I like that one.
That maybe with a new open and a revised song, maybe.
We gotta. I talked to Max. I gotta have Max on the show next week, Shane.
Yeah, Chris R. $4.99. Plenty of guys showed why they shouldn't be on the team next year. Borum, Shelton, Lewis, Everett, and plenty more. Fuck Green Bay. Onward to 2025.
100%.
Cygnus X1 is back. $1.99. Pronounced
Cygnus.
Did we pronounce it wrong the first time? I don't know. I thought I had it right.
Cygnus.
Gary. His last name always throws me for a loop when I'm reading it. Gary Purifory. $5. It's that last R.
Purifory. It's tough.
Yeah,
it is.
Gary, can you just make it easier on us and chop off the last R and you can just be Gary Purifoy for us? That'll help. We're kidding. $5. This victory will serve as a major springboard for Caleb. He did what McMahon did to the Pack back in the late 80s.
I want to say this off of this because I don't want to forget, and Jack can clip this. So if you are listening to Chicago media tomorrow and any personality, I don't care, just fill in the blank, says the Bears won in Lambeau, but if they do that, they're not valued. They're just not. There's no buts in a rivalry. Number one, did you know what a rivalry is? It's any given time that you're going to see someone step up. All of the injuries, all of the stats, all of the history get thrown out the window. What Caleb did today should be applauded. It should be what he just said, a stepping stone for the offseason, and that's how you handle it as a media. If you come out there and said, but, the Packers had some guys, then you just completely have an agenda.
Right.
Period.
We do have an update from one Mr. Jim Larison is partying in style after the big dub. There he is.
Look at this guy.
Look at that guy.
This guy is. He looks like he could be an actor.
I think
he would be an evil, like the evil side of a movie.
Yes.
Right.
That is, not only did he single-handedly take down Green Bay, this dude on the screen right now also brought down the Beatles. We love you, Jim Larison. Ruined us, Yoko. He does look relaxed. I'm not going to lie.
He does. He looks like a model.
He actually just texted, and he's dropping back some champagne, celebrating Virginia McCaskey's 102nd birthday today, Jim said. Thank you, Jim.
And then he's showing like big, giant, wild cats in his backyard.
Our guy Nick Bison's $1.99 is back. Just wanted to mention JJ flipping off the fans. Yeah, we talked about that a little bit.
Glad he did that, because you know some Packer fan was talking some smack about him getting hurt.
Yeah. DJ Diamond Tip, $4.99. Caleb Williams, 1-1. Let this be the beginning of something great in Chicago. Let's hope, man. I feel pretty good about it. Kevin Shiana, $2. Embarrassment. There is your shirt. I think Obvious Shirts already does that one, I believe. But thank you for the effort. Dalton Spain.
You have to get the swag shop fixed.
$4.99. Vrabel is my number one. Sounds like he's already out the door. I hope we don't lose him to the Pats. Sounds like that's probably what is happening, because that lots and lots of talk out there already about that, especially from a guy as locked in as Jay Glazer. So I would take that very, very serious.
Bill Wagner, I'm pregnant now.
Yes. Yes, he does. That fucking Larison.
Jim stepped up his game. He's drinking champagne, enjoying the McCaskey 102nd birthday. Bears win. Beat the Green Bay Packers in epic fashion. What should have happened the first time, when there was a serious block issue with our special teams, came out. The Bears did everything in their power. Credit to them, their special teams. I saw someone had commented about Tyler Scott. I thought Tyler Scott was outstanding returning the kicks, aggressively running up the field, looking for creases.
Just thought we had to play a 32-year-old journeyman there all year as our primary return guy, rather than, but who knows?
Well, I'll end it like this, Shane. To wrap it up, if you have anything to say, I can say my 2 cents.
Go ahead. You're all good. Take it away.
Here we are on the precipice of a season that completely was a letdown. It was a showcase of so many different things, a separation of powers in a fan sense, as well as the ineptitude of the Chicago Bears just putting the whipped cream and the cherry on top of us fans with their lack of an understanding of the future and the culture of the Chicago Bears. It started with Eberflus being held on as the head coach, with Ryan Poles coming out there doubling down that that's his guy. And then Kevin Warren giving us hope, and then all of the tax stuff. And then getting into camp and seeing that they hired a shoe salesman as an offensive coordinator to go along with the shoe salesman head coach and the shitty shoe salesman offensive line coach, and so on down the line. And the Bears began to get shown each and every Sunday for what they were. They were overwhelmed in coaching. And as many body blows as you take there, now your personnel decisions start to step to the stage, and people's integrity and effort come into question. How that's going to set up for the future is very important and indicative of where you're going to go with the next coach. Can the McCaskies stop with the shoe salesman and start with the head coaching? Well, Caleb Williams took a big step forward in showcasing that he wants to be a part of this experience, wants to be coached hard, wants to get it right, and wants to be a winner. Those types of goals, those types of statements should be applauded. It should be embraced and supported, not torn down and manipulated by stats and bullshit. Chicago Bears offensive line, as we wrap up BHL, was pathetic, putrid, didn't have understanding fundamentals nor assignment or keys. To go and watch the tape of this stuff week in and week out and see how pathetic it is an embarrassment. But then to hear the national as well as the local media continue to take it out on the quarterback when it was hot garbage in front of him, as well as the lack of an identity in play calling. Thomas Brown stepping to the stage, having to do several parts to try to clean up what was a shit show, also was pathetic. The McCaskies have a problem. It's themselves. They can't look in the mirror and put it on themselves. So today, on the day that's most important to the McCaskies, I asked them to listen very clearly. When you're walking around Lambeau, think about getting a fucking guy that's going to make you proud that he has control of the Chicago Bears and the effort of the players at an all-time high. That hasn't happened since Ditka. Will they get it right? I don't know. I pray that they do. But I know they got it right with the quarterback. That we could see today. Shane?
No, man, I'm not going to. I don't think I can put it any better than you just did or bring up anything else that you didn't bring up. I just want to say thank you to everybody out there that tuned in all season long here on BHL. TTNL will still be hard at work, pumping out content every week. As Bears Hour Live will go on vacation for a little while. Shows like Draft Mob and maybe even X's with the O's will
come back,
popping back up as we start breaking down tape. And yeah, I saw an interesting tweet with a TTNL hater that says that TTNL needs to just admit that they don't have access to tape. All they do is show TV feeds, which it just shows you how fucking illiterate and ignorant you are as a fan if you're putting out shit like that. So it's all good.
Would you like us to bring up?
If we don't have haters, we're not doing it right. But wanted to thank all you guys, especially our patrons, who,
thank you, Gerald Smith.
Absolutely,
patronage here.
But
Caleb Williams have a fuck Green Bay shirt on under his coat.
Maybe.
Probably did.
It's a little chilly there, but like I said, thank you for everybody for all the support all year long in a tough year. But as with anything, when it gets really, really dark, you hope that it's not going to get any darker, or I don't think it possibly can for the Bears. Maybe if there would have been a catastrophic injury today, but we got to look for the light, look for the silver lining, and I obviously feel like that is one number 18, Caleb Williams, as we move forward into this huge offseason. So, Phil, I don't think anything else needs to be said. We move into off-season mode here.
We will be covering it all with the tape, Shane. With
the actual tape. And just like we said before we get out of here, with the offseason, with free agency, with the NFL draft, comes a new hope. And that's where we end it right here, Phil. Let's get out of here. Thank you all. A new hope, 2025.
Happy New Year, guys.
Chicago
Fuck Green Bay.